Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Team Fortress TV's coverage of ETF2L Season 32. We're on the lower bracket Round 1 final between Feint Gaming EU and SVIFT. Is it SVIFT EU? Or I don't really know. But I am not on my own. I'm actually joined by other individuals. One is Wiethoofd, who just tried to correct me, and my wonderful friend Eemes. How you doing, Eemes?
I'm good, Grumpy. I think it is SVIFT EU actually, because there is a SVIFT South. There's another SVIFT from somewhere, but I'm not entirely sure. I think it might be South America, but
no, I think there's a SVIFT joining like the Oz, not the Oz Fortress, Asia.
SVIFT Asia. Yeah, okay, maybe it's
yeah. Anyway, more importantly, onto this game, we are covering quite an interesting fight between Feint Gaming EU and SVIFT EU. It's going to be an interesting one, Eemes.
Yeah, definitely. So, as you mentioned, this is the lower bracket round 1. So both teams, this is their last chance, basically. If they lose this best of 3, then they're out. Their season's over. They will get 4th place. So both having lost. Both, interestingly, taking a map off their... so Feint, the 4th seed, taking a map off 7, the 1st seed, which was somewhat unexpected. They played really well on Snakewater. And SVIFT also took the first map in the series, Granary, off of Ascent. So that's interesting, in fact. I don't want to segue too quickly onto the map picks for tonight, but we are playing both of those maps, Grumpy.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. And actually going back to the first week of ETF2L Season 32, we had Feint and SVIFT battle it out on 2 of these maps, and SVIFT took both those maps. So will we have a repeat today? Or maybe Feint Gaming is going to be able to definitely put up a fight. They have got a new coach as well. Did you hear our colleague Dumtum is now coaching them?
Yeah, that's definitely cool to see. It's always, no matter how experienced the person is in actually playing in Prem, I think there's always definitely a value to having, an outside opinion of whoever it is, and, just having a perspective that is not within the game, able to take a dispassionate perspective and just, point out what you're doing wrong. And I think SVIFT definitely, Feint.
Yeah, that's the one.
I may at some points call SVIFT in this game because, of course, their roster has 5 of the players of what was SVIFT EU from last season. They have a very good, actually, to be honest, both teams have quite a good mentality when it comes to improving and changing their playstyle. Particularly though, Feint, they really. I've heard tell that they do a lot of demo reviews. They do a lot of practicing new strats and they're a very well polished team. So they're definitely, they use their DM ability as well as they possibly can, given how well they play together as a team, I'd say.
Yeah, and I think one really important thing to actually take away from Dumtum being part of Feint Gaming is he may not have played in Prem, but the guy's knowledge and the amount of TF2 he watches on a daily basis is phenomenal. I can see that actually being a really good addition to the Feint Gaming roster, and I hope he stays, because I think that it will be interesting to have a dedicated coach on a team and see them succeed. But I think it's time to talk about the map decisions. We kind of hinted at them. So we've got our 3 maps, we've got our bans as well. So we'll do it kind of in the format as if they were doing it live. We actually had Feint ban out Gully first, which is quite an interesting decision. A very demo-centric map. Any idea why you feel Feint might have decided to remove Gully from the options?
I guess they didn't feel particularly strong on it. I think Gully Wash will probably play in particular to Pappy's strengths, because it's one of the best maps to main call from Soldier. It's one of the most highest impact maps for Soldier, other than maybe Granary, well, that kind of depends. But you can really do a lot on Soldier on Gully Wash. I think we saw Pappy, I can't remember who was against, I think it was actually against Gangomp and the Frenchies earlier in the season. He took a banner push from his last all the way to the enemy last, just basically rolling over them the whole way. And I think with 2 banner pops in that, he managed to take the round from that. That's kind of the thing that you would have seen from Pappy on Gully Wash, but no, they're going to ban that off. So I think it's a fairly decent decision by them.
And then SVIFT actually goes with a counter ban of Viaduct. Viaduct's always been a bit of a wild card for a lot of teams, so I can see why they would remove that. It's really it's because it's that King of the Hill map. It's always just so different to everything else, and some teams that you would expect to maybe struggle against other teams, that kind of gets thrown out the window when a product really gets picked up. So they've decided to remove that, and they have actually picked Granary as their first map. Now, these guys during season 32 haven't actually played against each other on Granary, but I don't. It's interesting. Like you mentioned before, soldiers are very strong, and with especially Pappy on the side of Swift, I can see why they would want to play off especially his strength, as he is a very solid pocket in Prem.
And as I mentioned, so obviously neither of these two teams are favoured to be in the top two. That would obviously be Ascent and Swift, which is why they are both in the lower bracket. But the maps that they were able to take against the Titans that are Ascent.eu and Seven were for Swift, Granary, and for Feint, Snakewater. So if you could gain any information off of that, you would assume that it will be quite a strong win for Swift on Granary and quite a strong win from Feint on Snakewater. But anything could happen. It's playoffs.
And that's exactly what Feint did. They picked up the Snake, and then they banned Logjam. Logjam being a newer. I wouldn't use the word new addition to fully describe it. It's a comeback. It's a bit of a comeback for for Logjam. It's had a lot of changes since we last saw it in actual rotation, and it's been, for some teams, it's been quite hard to adapt to the way Logjam kinds of plays with that really wide open spaced mid fight. Kind of throws some teams off, I seem to find.
Yeah, it's been an interesting one this season. I think most teams would just prefer not to play a bit of wildcard map in playoffs. It's basically it. They would prefer to just have something that they know and where there won't be any sort of surprise factors. I suppose maybe if you were really the underdog and you thought you were really good at Logjam, you would probably pick it. But I don't think either team is particularly the under. Obviously, Feint are probably slightly less favoured in this matchup, but it's not like there's no clear winner. No one's clearly favoured. So I don't really see any reason for either team to pick Logjam. It's just they're not used to it, so they don't really want to play it.
And then the final ban from Swift was actually they banned Process, and it made Sunshine become the decider for this 3-map lower bracket final. So, lower bracket round 1 technically. So interesting playoffs, but we'll get to that another time and another date. But yeah, so finishing it off in Sunshine, Snake and Sunshine actually being the maps we mentioned earlier. The Swift and Feint played against at the start of the season, and Swift took both maps. Yep. So they're probably feeling quite confident on if it goes to the Sunshine decider, because it was quite a convincing victory. It was 5-1, I believe, the score line. So yeah, Swift maybe consider that one, if it goes to the final round, that they will be able to just take it home very easily. But I don't know, Feint have really, really. That was 8 weeks ago, wasn't it? 8 weeks, 8 weeks ago.
It was a good while.
Yeah, and a lot can change in that time, especially during a season of TF2.
Definitely. I think, I'll just give you my prediction now. I won't give you the scores for each map. Maybe I'll do that at the time. But I'm going to say that Swift are going to take Granary. Feint are going to counter punch and take Snake. It's going to be a close one on that. And then finally, it'll probably be close on Sunshine as well, because I think this whole playoffs is going to be close because, both teams are really fairly evenly matched. But I think the DM of Swift, which is probably slightly superior overall, is going to carry them through on Sunshine, because Swift on Feint aren't too strong in that one.
I kind of want to play devil's advocate, but logic dictates not to, and I would agree with that, Eames. It does look like I hope, and I definitely feel like it's going to go to the third map, and I do think it's going to be the first map going to Swift, then Feint, then we're going to have that decider, and it's going to be really, really close. I'm excited. I can't wait for the game to start. But for those who may not have kept up with the season or aren't too sure what these teams are, we'll just quickly run through the rosters. Just quickly, do you want to take Feint or do you want to take Swift teams?
I don't mind, Grumpy. It's up to you.
All right. I'll take Feint as they're on the top, and it makes life easy. So, The Feint roster at the moment is going to be Ombrak on Medic, Smeare playing Demo, and then you've got Polygon and Mathis on the Soldiers. Polygon playing Pocket, Mathis playing Roma. And then you have Konu or Koff on Scout and Ixie also on Scout. Konu playing, if I remember correctly, Pocket Scout and Ixie playing the flank. Really, really strong team. Smeare, Ombrak, all of them really. Apart from, I'd say, Konu being someone who is more known for his sniper plays in Highlander until recently, where he's made a bit of a break in Prem, really, and really shown his ability, and especially his raw DM in TF2. And all in all, it's a nice, well-rounded roster.
Yeah, I mean, okay, well, I'll just go through Swift quickly. So we have on the Scouts, Scruff and Classy. Scruff playing Pocket Scout. Pocket Soldier is Pappy, Roma is Gink, Demo Man is Lucas, tagged up as a Lucas Tank or Lucas Stank, depending on whether you like the guy or not. And finally on Medic we have Seeds. So interesting thing to note about these two rosters is both of them have someone who it's their first season in Prem, so it's Classy on Swift and Mathis on Feint Gaming. And it's going to be, although, there are also potential players who might be choking on both teams, but I'm not going to call out any names here, but it's possible that the heat of the moment is going to get to these players and it's all going to go a bit chaotic, but I hope not. It should be a very interesting game either way.
Yeah, playoffs can definitely put the squeeze on your mentality when it comes to playing TF2. It's when there's quite a lot to play for, it can sometimes rattle your nerves a bit too much. We are going to be going live soon. I'm not actually in the map, Eames, at the moment, so you may need to take the first mid, but just give us your quick prediction of scoreline on this first map.
I think this one is going to favour Swift. It's going to be quite back and forth. It's not going to be back and forth. It's going to be 3-1 to Swift, as we are rolling into this first mid already. I haven't quite reached it yet. Yes. You're still joining, yeah?
Yeah, I'm just about to get in. I'm actually in, so we're going to be going for this first mid on Granary, and everyone's looking to get in on mid. We've got Smeare and Lucas exchanging some damage, but Polygon bombs over straight on the Seeds, gets him down. Ixie going down as well during that, with two players down on the side of Feint. Ombrak backing out, trying not to get caught by just Swift going full aggression, just sacking them, everyone. But Ombrak, they're in second. They ain't stopping. They've managed to catch Smeare up in Lunchbox, cleaned him up. Mathis going down as well. And despite losing their med, using so much aggression and cleaning up those players' Eames. Jesus.
Yeah, it's a nice clean up, but they have taken a very long time to get mid here, which is basically the deciding factor, which is going to mean that, well, Feint will be able to take this back pretty quickly, and Seed's still at a fairly low percent. So this should be a fairly easy mid retake for Feint. And yeah, there's a very interesting mid. I mean, Polygon had a pretty clinical bomb onto Seeds, which is basically the only good thing that Feint got out of it. Otherwise, all their other aggression didn't really work out. But they are going to be taking it in, and they're pretty much uncontested here in this choke. Pappy's going to spam it a bit. Gink is actually going to pressure behind onto Ixie. He's going to lose the 1v1, and this is more or less a free mid take now. Although Pappy's going to go really aggressively for the force, and actually it will kill Polygon. That's pretty nicely played by Pappy, but then getting traded off by Smear. So it kind of should be an easy mid take now for Feint, I hope.
Yeah, Feint are going to be able to come in. No one with both soldiers down. It's going to be very difficult to force out that Uber. So luckily though, Seeds has got his Uber. Good building from him, and now things are equal. So we're going to see a classic yard to mid stalemate, as both these teams are going to look for some sort of opportunity to break just either of the team's forward positions. Ixie taking a bit of spam in Garage, but no one really found an opening too much. Smeare trying to get a lot of space in Garage, but Swift pushing out Feint straight away. And how they're going to break this, Eames?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, one thing I would just point out, before we even talk about the stalemate, is that both teams, I would say, are, particularly Feint, but probably to an extent both teams, are going to really struggle to play from behind.
Mathis just went in.
Yeah, so we have the first little pokey, proddy sack play from Mathis, but it's not going to get too much done. I don't think you even hit a rocket on Seeds. As we do return, Swift actually going to be trying to take over the ramp room here, but they're not really. I know. Is anything going to happen here, Grumpy? What do you think?
Well, Gink was looking to maybe go up onto balcony, but he just got immediately spammed out. He's still trying to get there, but as Mathis has just come back into his team's arms, yeah, Swift are just going to have to back out and wait for something to happen, or more importantly, try and be proactive, break this stalemate. Things are equal, so any little force opportunity they can. It's very, very hard to force a med when you're holding yard. It is
Definitely.
very difficult.
I think. Well, of all the points where you're likely to see things happen incredibly slowly, this is probably one of them. You know, it's 0-0, but actually, as we do say, that Ixie does go down in the flank. So, Feint trying to make things happen, but not being too successful here at the moment. But yeah, assuming that Swift don't do something crazy here, what I was going to say is, I mean, this scenario is probably one of the slowest you could possibly have, because it's the first. You know, both teams, if they lose this best of 3, they're going to go out.
Ginks in on Ombrak. Oh, Ombrak goes super low, but he surfs the last bit.
Yeah, so a really strong moat there from Umbrak. But yeah, both teams basically have every reason possible, because they don't want to get behind in the map, because it's Granary, because it's the first map of best of 3 and they're a bit nervous, and because, you know, obviously it's a crucial best of 3. But absolutely no reason do they want to make a huge mistake here, so they're going to be playing extremely conservatively, I expect.
Koff nearly got in behind there, nearly created an opportunity for Mathis to come from left side choke, but not able to do so. A little bit of self-hatred from Koff there in the chat as Scruff. He's distracting. Ginks in. Ginks again onto Ombrak. Ombrak dupes really nicely. Some really good movement from him. And Gink's going to just go back into the respawn queue, as both teams not really able to break this stalemate at all, Eames.
Yeah, we do see, I mean, the classic one person pokes and prods a little bit in one area, and then the other person sacks. Feint here trying to get something going through choke, but Polygon will actually sack from. He's going to be able to Lucas. Yeah, we'll actually get the frag, because this does kind of open things up. No stickies in the choke, and actually Smith's going to be able to walk in, so they could take a good trade here, but it is still 5v5.
Yeah, but having that demo pick is very good, and Mathis uses that opportunity to try and get onto Seeds, but Seeds reads it really nicely, only taking about 40 damage from it. And as they lose both their soldiers, they're going to back out a bit. Classy got himself trapped in garage. He just manages to get out. Smeares, the stickies do not clean him up. And again, back in this stalemate. Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing off classes popping out now.
Yeah, potentially.
Like, you've got Cuff. Like, use him.
Yeah, he's known for his sniping ability, definitely. We've had some pretty, I mean, a couple of scenarios there where it was possible to take, you know, an aggressive trade, take a 5v5 fight, maybe with a demo pick from Smear, you know, to just use the demo man advantage, or at that point they had two soldiers down for a very small amount of time. The Swift could have pushed off, but neither team opting to do it. They both, you know, they almost get in, and then they kind of think, you know what, let me just reset, and you know, we're 4 minutes into the stalemate now.
Yeah, and it looks like Koff actually listened to us, and he is on the sniper class, and he's looking for an angle on his right-hand side, and he does get classy with a nice little headshot, peeking that right-hand side, and it creates an opportunity for Polygon to go in, maybe go for a bomb, not able to do so, but that distraction means that the guys in garage pressuring Swift's other side, but not able to clean up a player. And again, Polygon trying to keep that space available. Scruff going down and Polygon going in on Lucas. Lucas gets sent into the air. He trades with Polygon. And that's going to just mean that Feint can walk straight in off those picks from Koff. And Koff looking for another angle now. Can't land anything.
We'll be looking for the trade here in the corner. He's waiting for them to come in. Just trying to hold the ground as long as he can. But in fact, Feint, sorry, are not looking to come in so quickly. Koff is continuing to try and peek onto Pappy, but when they could have used that demo man advantage once again, they've opted not to, and they've gone once again for the conservative play. They've taken yard off that pick, but nothing more, and they're just gonna, you know, they're gonna respect the Pappy's pocket soldier trade from that tiny angle, and just try and once again wait for Koff to make something happen.
Well, the thing is, playing a sniper like this, especially on Granary, means that you can just take space inch by inch. You don't need to rush it. It's just the start of the game. It's not necessarily the most intense, but that's the third kill for Koff right now. He's picked up Pappy, and Swift very conservative, kind of worried, but Ombrak's actually going to use the Uber, and a bit of a kite from Seeds. He has milked it a little bit. He has gone forward. I don't know if they're aware Polygon's up above them. I think Gink's trying to deal with him now. He's going to drop onto Seeds, clean Seeds up. All of the players of Swift are just getting collapsed upon. Pappy, the only survivor, That was not a bad wipe. They did lose their players, but well played by Feint.
And that is a round already. And crucially, Lucas died after the Uber, I think, to the sticky trap. The classic Smeary sticky trap above the point, just hidden in that tiny little bit of wood. And, you know, that was a crucial death that just let them all in. Polygon came in behind and destroyed seeds. And just a very, you know, they get the pick, they take the trade, and then, you know, kind of a pretty big mistake from Lucas, honestly, in such an important game. And it's cost them the round. So, yeah, 1-0 to Feint.
That plate from Poly getting behind and dropping on seeds just meant that his entire team could just spam everyone he dealt damage to and clean them up so quickly. And coming on to the second mid,
wow,
Lucas dies. And that's going to, again, put things in Feint's favour. Swift just straight out of mid. They're not going to try and contest this at all. And Ging trying to hold off Garage, but Feint want to go forwards. They've dealt so much damage to Gink. He's going to get cleaned up by Koff. Good work from him. And Scruff going down as well. Polygon on the chase. Mathis in behind. This aggression from Feint is so well organised.
Yeah, definitely. Lucas is now alive, so he would probably be able to put a stop to it, I expect. I think Feint is still trying to poke and prod it, but yeah, really, it was just a fantastic stickies from Smear on mid. He got the pre-fire, the perfectly angled pre-fire onto Lucas up top, which hit him, and then Lucas was weak, and he should have been dropping down to the pack, but he tried to just dodge the sticky, and Smear read it like a book. So Smear playing really, really well, just completely outplaying Lucas here on Granary.
Yes, Smear has such just a history behind him, and he's kind of showing it right now with some good knowledge, catching out poor Lucas quite a bit.
Yeah, definitely. We do see Scruff, you know, they're going to be settling in for the hole with Scruff and Engineer now. Is going to attempt for some kind of spy play. He has actually managed to wheedle his way in behind. Ombrak is up top, so actually, you know, this is a potential for quite a good play. He's going to go in and he's going to get the frag. Huge play from Gink. Wow, that's an immediate spy play, an immediate impact from him, and now it's, you know, Swift can make the push out.
Yes, that's how you play spy. Good pick. I don't really know what else to say about that.
Yeah, it was just really nice to go so early before, you know, Feint really expected it at all, because obviously the longer you wait in the stalemate, the more likely they are to suspect it. But Gink went almost as soon as he possibly could, and Ombrak had really no idea. So yeah, Feint just going to give up the second, and to be honest, Swift should be able to take this to mid if they are quick about it. Yeah,
they looking like they're going through Z, trying not to get that much spam. But Koff, is he going to go for a hero? He just decided it's time for a hero shot. Doesn't manage to connect anything though. Pappy bringing his team forward through Garage. They need to start really getting in the driver's seat right now, because Feint have been so strong. Pappy going in, picking up Mathis with some really nice rocket teams, and they're going in right hand side. They're keeping this momentum, not giving them a chance. Look at this damage onto them, picking up Polygon, pushing them back still. And they haven't even used. Things have equaled up once again, Eames. But Swift showing their prowess in pushing as well.
Yeah, but Swift, coming all the way into Lunchbox here. It's only Pappy and Seas actually, and they are going to opt to just back out, play a little bit more conservatively there. But I would have liked Swift to continue to push off that aggression there, the kind of momentum that they were having. But they're going to opt to slow it down. But what we did see in those 2 points that Feint just lost, right? Some of them were committing, and some of them weren't. And it's really, really poor. So Koff went in for this hero shot, and it didn't work at all. He should have just been playing passive. Then Mathis gets caught, and then Polygon gets caught. So they lose, basically, well, they didn't quite lose second, but they lost a yard. A lot more ground than they needed to, because they were just kind of caught in two minds.
And Lucas on this right-hand side just got completely that shutter on lock, whilst the rest of his team are looking to get into left shutter somewhat. Oh, Polygon actually went in through drop down. Nice rocket from Polygon. That connection was so good. And he is behind. Scruff going for the chase.
Classy.
Scruff doesn't even see him.
Oh, it was Scruff. Okay, King finds him. That was
such good rocket.
Yeah, Polygon, I mean, he only gets the scout frag in the end, but style points to the maximum for him. And even managing somehow to evade Scruff's sight there. I'm not quite sure why Scruff didn't check that corner. But there you go. He will eventually get picked up by Gink. And this could actually, Gink's going to go for a play, but not too much happening here. I expect he's probably just going to go down to Ixie, although Ixie is extremely weak. He will actually go down to Pappy, and Gink still isn't dead. This is kind of... Could something could happen here.
Yeah, but they've lost two. Scruff tries to clean up on some of the damage that his team has put on, but he actually gets caught out as a result. Swift are going to have to back out because they have got a one-player disad. And with Gink coming back, they should be able to hold yard quite confidently. But Feint want to go forward with this. Mathis going straight in, creating that opportunity. Ombrax actually used his Uber. The counter Ubers come out from Seeds. And the Uber exchange, they're trying to clean up Mathis behind. And things are just going to fizzle out unless they can get a player in. Pappy's going very far forward. Gink as well, maybe going in through Z. But with Smire's traps just absolutely everywhere, they're going to have to find a clean angle to go in.
I'd really like to see...
Ixie does go down to Lucas, so that's another player down. Mathis only just coming back from the respawn queue, Eames, and they're going to get second just off those 2 picks.
Will in fact be taking this into the left side with that 1 pick and try and get something onto Ombrak, I expect. They're taking a lot of space in left, but they're also taking a lot of damage, and actually Pappy will go down, Gink as well. They're just going to have to leave here. They will get the frag on the Koth, but Classy's going to die for that as well, and they're just going to have to back out all the way. Lucas is still alive, they should be able to defend second.
Hopefully, at least slow them down. Feint are going to have quite a lot of player advantage to push forward onto this. Lucas taking quite a lot of damage, but Scruff and Lucas actually catching out Smire. The Ubers have been exchanged once again. A little bit of flashing from both teams, but no one's really taken a good position on top. Players coming back from Swift, actually coming through Z. A lot of damage onto the Feint players, but Classy and Lucas are the ones to go down. Polygon as a rebuttal, but 3 players down for Swift. They're going to have to back out, and Feint going to hold on and go forward, but Ixie goes down. Kodu, super low, goes down as well, and Swift just playing angles really well from Pappy there, cleaning up the scouts overextending. Actually, that was Gink, my bad. And Scruff pressuring Smire. Smire takes a lot of damage with Ombrak by his side, and they're going to get second once again, Eames.
Yeah, it's a really interesting fight there. You see essentially both teams get 1 pick, then overextend, which Swift did, and then they lost players, then they had to back up, and then Feint were like, oh, you know what, since you've overextended, I'll do it too. And then they come and overextend into Shutter, into Pappy, and lose 2 more players. So, you know, it was slightly mistakes from both teams there, but, you know, we ended up in basically a reset.
Pappy gets picked up by some traps from Smire. Gink going down as well, so that's both soldiers down. So again, backpedal coming out from Swift as Feint try and take control of their second point. But Lucas holding them off quite nicely, but Polygon in a good position to peek onto Lucas. If he overextends, which he does, he gets picked up. Now Swift really need to backpedal as Scruff goes down. Seeds nearly left all on his own, but with those 2 players, they're going to have to back out and maybe concede yard as well, as Pappy is backing out as well as Gink through choke. And yeah, they're going to concede yard. Hopefully not mid, but the pressure is coming on from Polygon. He's trying to get his team in, and they're able to do so, pushing people off the crates, getting that high ground. And as they try and retake it, Classy and Gink go down. Feint very, very strong. Lucas caught in, and with Polygon fighting Mathis fighting Scruff goes down, and with only 2 fragging classes up for Swift, they're gonna have a hard time. Oh god, Pappy!
Yeah.
Oh, he hit the arrow!
They're getting all the way out here. Pappy's extremely weak, but really, Swift is just getting rolled over at the moment because Lucas has been dead. It's in so many situations that they just can't, you know, lock things down without a demo. Pappy's going to try and take the trade here now, playing quite aggressively, and we have seen Feint fear this kind of pocket soldier holding close play in the past. So actually, they are going to opt to be a little bit more conservative. They could have really actually made something with that if they wanted to go a bit more aggressive, but once again, Feint, they're playing what's a pretty smart strategy, I think, particularly in the official of this, the importance of this kind of official, which is they're just waiting for the other team to make mistakes, and they're making sure that they themselves don't make any, and it's working out for them at the moment.
Mathis up on the upper lunchbox. Pappy nearly gets Ombrak, but Ombrak keeps him.
Yeah, this is the second time in this official that Ombrak is milked on below 50 HP, so that's actually really nicely played by him, just trusting his team to kill Pappy in time. I didn't actually see what happened, but it's nice play either way.
Yeah, it's very high risk, high reward playstyle, but Ombrak's all on his own with Classy. Classy gets the drop, And with Polygon and Koff going down, that's 3 down versus the 2 that are down for Swift. They're going to be able to push this out. Hopefully clean the players behind as Ixie and Mathis are trapped in Lunchbox. They're having a little 2v1 against Pappy. Pappy does go down, but Scruff ends up picking up the last 2 players that are behind. Smire and Ombrak. Well, actually, Smire, the only one left, is going in for some sort of bomb play. Not able to connect anything. Now he's super low. Gets picked up by a nice sticky from Lucas, and they're going to get mid off that.
I really don't like that from Smear there. I mean, he could have just left and met with his team in yards, but no, he decides to go for like the completely like a 10% play onto the medic, which is never really going to happen. Just fails to take the 1v1 with Scruff and dies pretty much instantly. So after that, obviously it's a double-edged sword when you milk so well, you know. So Ombre going very weak and surviving one time and then dropping the next time. I didn't actually see that either because it was in Lunchbox, but it's still ad for Swift, and they're coming in really aggressively in through the left side, and they killed Smear already, so this could be around for them.
Yeah, this easily could be around, but Soldiers up on the high ground, not being dealt with that quickly. As I say that, Polygon does go down to a pipe from Lucas. Point presence is coming on.
Huge air shot there from that was Genki out to Mathis, and I mean that was pretty insane.
Yeah, that was a really, really good read of the situation from Swift. They barreled it all the way to last, and the scoreboard is 1-1. It's actually not been that stalematy. It's been a lot of to and throwing, a lot of really aggressive plays from both teams where they've just pushed like crazy from one side to the other. It's been kind of coast to coast, and finally Swift are able to make it 1-1, the Eames.
Yeah, it's kind of tragic for Smear that the one time that he feeds, his team can just kind of all crumbles after that and lets them get really broad the last. As Swift goes super aggressive here on the left side onto mid, Polygon's going to get a lot of damage onto Classy behind, but in fact Pappy's going to make Ombrag and Smear run all the way out. It's just kind of chaos here. Seeds are going to have to leave, taking 1v1. He will win! Huge play from Seeds. If he'd have died there, that would have been basically catastrophic for them. But yeah, that's a pretty weird mid there, Grumpy.
Yeah, it was like everyone just got so separated. Seeds having the 1v1 with Ixie. Ixie was low at the time, but nice arrow to clean him up and keeping himself alive. Just if he went down, it would have changed the post mid pace so much. But it's going to be Pappy goes in on Umbrak and then a Gink on there as well. How is Umbrak still alive? And how did he not use?
I think I'm not joking. I think he didn't notice that Pappy was behind him, and he therefore didn't pop to him. And it was super lucky because the rocket hit Ixie, I think, instead of Ombrag, or somehow it didn't smash him, even though he was 30 HP and Pappy was basically inside his model. So that was not a skillful milk. That was just complete luck. I'm just going to say it.
That was. I'll agree with you on that. I have no idea how he didn't use or die, as Lucas is going to get caught out. But the Ubers have been exchanged. Lucas is going to stay alive, and Polygon trying to just mess with the Swift players before his Uber ends. He doesn't take that much damage either, so they're going to hold this at a Uber reset. And Polygon looking to spam, holding that. I really, really like that soldier hold on the left-hand side. It can really catch out an overzealous demo. But Lucas not being so, just locking down that right-hand side again and letting his team try and work Lunchbox and get a decent angle.
Yeah, definitely. And throughout this game, we've seen Feint's sort of tendency to, as soon as something goes slightly bad, they were going to back out, right? And I think both teams, to be honest, were a bit like that to begin with. But Swift, I feel like they're getting a little bit more into the game now, right? You know, they've won a few scrappy fights. They've showed, in a lot of situations, their DM superiority. And I think potentially now the game is going to be hotting up a little bit. You know, you might see them going off some advantages that are a bit smaller, and things happening a little bit quicker at this point.
As Gink actually does try and go in, not able to connect any of his rockets though on people he needs to. And with that one player down, we're going to see Swift back up, wait for any sort of sack play that may come out on Mathis or Polygon, but nothing's happening. As 3 seconds for Gink to come back, but they've probably got about a 6-second window to try and do something. And Ixie going pretty low, no real connections though, and I feel like Gink's going to be joining his team momentarily. Are we?
In fact,
Gink?
opting to go sniper. So it's not the best point for sniper, but there are definitely some decent angles. The main difficulty with the sniper is once you have the pick here, it's kind of obviously the whole point is so tight in, right? It would be a lot more beneficial to have a soldier just barreling into the enemy team and hitting a load of ground rockets that splash everybody. But obviously, opening up the stalemate, it can be pretty beneficial.
If you can get like 1 or 2 decent entry frags, it could be something. Like, I feel like he's going to try and come in on this left hand side, try and get that angle, see if he can connect onto anything, and he does get Konu, so that's the start. So Kunu going down means that hopefully with a rotation he may be able to get another frag. He's going through Z, seeing if he can connect something. Now he's got Polygon. That's the 2 frags. They should start entering right now. Pappy actually on the top ground, bullying out Mathis, actually gets the kill. They're going to collapse onto Ombrak, who's going to use, which if he didn't would have been catastrophic, as the Ubers have been exchanged. But Swift looking to barrel down on the post-Ubered boys in Feint. But
the Smear is absolutely destroying them in his choke point. Wow, Classy with the wrong focus target going for Ombrak there, but he needs to shoot the scout, and actually Susan Pappy is going to have to leave all the way. It was a really nice stalemate play from Swift, but in fact, in the afterfight, they just got kind of
Polygon's aggression.
Poly gets a fantastic kill onto Pappy. Susan's just going to have to run all the way to his spawners. Might even die to Koff, potentially. No, Koff's going to get back on the cap. But yeah, just a huge knife from Smear. That could have easily been around for Swift, but Smear just puts them in their place. You cannot run through that choke point when I'm a demo man, and I have 8 stickies loaded.
Now, really well played by Ombrak there. He used his Uber at the perfect moment, and they just started cleaning up players. Post that, backpedaled out, kept the heels onto Smire, and Smire cleaned all the overzealous Swift players. So well played by Fate once again, and getting things back in advantage in this round with only 5 minutes left, 1 apiece. They're going to have to try and take every advantage they get, like you mentioned before, Eames.
Yeah, definitely, and we do see, I mean, it was actually a really nice play in the stalemate, because both players that Gink killed, he only killed them because Lucas had piped them just a second before, so it was very nice coordination from the 2 of them. But obviously, well, I think Classy got overzealous with the Uber. He thought he still had the Uber on him, but it just faded as he ran basically into 4 players, and then, you know, trying to will his team to come with him, he kind of baited them in, and they got kind of crushed by Smear, as we mentioned.
And Feint opting to play around this right hand side, trying to get some sort of connection, and Polygon actually going down, and Gink looking for an opportunity to go in onto Ombrak. He does get spotted though in upper garage, and not really opting for any sort of sack play, but maybe just a raw push from Swift, as they have taken garage, but Scruff going down means they are going to have to backpedal. If they overextend any more players, they could really, you know, it's going to be very difficult if they lose a round at this point to get it back, because this map is so easy to stalemate out, as Mathis tries to go in, but huge fight from Lucas. And
that's a very stylish way to kill the render stacking. I don't think he would have gotten onto Seeds anyway. The play that Feint has been making pretty much every single time is, you know, Smear and his combo, they pressure a little bit from one side and then the soldier sacks from the other side. They've done it about 5 times this map. So it's kind of incredibly obvious at this point. In fact, there's stickies in the corners, but Polygon will not die to it. And with Gink down, they are probably, you know, I hate to say it, but it's possible they're going to do the exact same play once again. The Scruff is now on Spy, Grumpy.
Yeah, Scruff managing to get in, just kind of inching his way in, making sure he doesn't lose his cloak. And he's feeding a lot of information, so they're going to know the rotations, but more importantly, they're going to know where to spam. But he gets spotted out by Ixie. He doesn't manage his did he? No way, Scruff. Scruff?
I really have no idea. He's able to live right now by just juking and driving with his cloak on, but I really have no idea how he got spotted in the first place. Did he uncloak?
He ran out. He ran out of cloak.
He ran out of cloak.
Just for a moment.
That's an absolute rookie mistake from Scruff.
Oh no! I still don't get how they didn't find him.
We do see
the Jukes.
The Kunu sniper pressuring in through choke here. Once he did get 2 frags, crucial frags last time he peaked this. We'll go in super aggressive now, but he's going to get taken down by Lucas Koff. Seems to be trying to go for a bit too many hero plays this game, and King is going to sack in with a nice pencil bomb. Going to get the frag onto Smear and won't even die yet, so this actually opens everything up now, Grumpy.
Yeah, Swift are going to use this opportunity to go very far forward, but Lucas a little bit overextended, gets, I wouldn't even say dropped by Seeds, because Seeds couldn't do anything on that. But Ubers have been used by both teams. Swift not really able to connect anything with their Uber. They're going to back out into yard. And Feint, I can see them all swarming forward. They know they've got that 2-player ad right now, so they're going to be taking yard and looking to go on to that second. A little bit of mistakes from Swift there, Eames.
Yeah, definitely. That's a grave miscommunication between Seeds and Lucas. Lucas so far forward, getting completely dropped in the Uber, and although Seeds was a lot longer, there was really nothing to do with it with so many players down. And once again, we see kind of a mistake from Lucas costing Swift a lot.
And taking this left-hand side, Feint are going up into Lunchbox, trying to use both their soldiers to just spam like demons as they're going to try and keep this top side in advantage. But Lucas trapping it up as well. I thought he might go underneath him there, but the fact that Kunu is available could clean him up. So good decision from him not to overextend, but something could have happened there.
Yeah, and so with 1 minute 35 on the clock here, this is starting to get into territory where there's basically no way that Feint can lose, even if they completely mess up a push. So I'm expecting, they might go for a couple more sacks in the next 30 seconds or so, and then they're probably just going to all fully commit to some kind of play, and it's all on Swift here to make sure they don't make any, tiny little mistakes. Lucas cannot die early, because that could be the one thing that is going to allow Feint to snowball and suddenly win this out of pretty much nothing here.
And Mathis does go down, so that's a small advantage, at least slow down for Swift to get this to a golden cap. They can't lose this round. They just can't lose this round, because if they do, it will be the map. So we've got 1 minute left on the timer. Gink does try and go in, but too many players on Feint's side do go down. Smire just barreling forward towards the team. They do end up using Uber, but Seeds hasn't even used yet, as Puppy's probably going to use just right at the end. He's going to get the shot, and Smire gets the double! Woo! Quite easy to do so, but still beautiful to watch.
Yeah, and getting absolutely dunked on there.
Oh, bless.
There's 35 seconds left. It's not looking too likely for either team to be able to take a round here. In fact, Feint is still in mid, so they're going to be taking yard now. Probably going to go for the final play, but unless something truly crazy happens, this is probably looking like a 0-0 here. I mean, sorry, a 1-1.
0-0 here.
I mean, it kind of felt a bit like that, I guess.
No, there were some opportunities, but they ain't stopping. Feint are just like, let's just go forward. Classy's on the Plutus, cleaning up all those Feint players that are just sacked in. Smire got his pain train out in front of a heavy, and that is going to be 1-1. We're going to be going to golden cap, but you know what? That was really good. I enjoyed that so much.
Yeah, definitely. It was
a good map.
It was back and forth. It was pretty slow, but each team, sometimes they were capitalizing off the other's mistakes, sometimes they weren't. But I think really a crucial thing was the demos, the demo battle. Every time, Lucas was dying a lot in pretty questionable situations. But the main thing, but really they weren't getting too caught out from that most of the time, apart from the one round, obviously. But with Smire, it was kind of unfortunate for him because he played a really solid game with only 8 deaths, right, and almost. Every time the demo dies on Granary in particular, it's really a big problem for you. But the one time that he did die, he fed in a really stupid situation on mid, after Ombrak had dropped, admittedly. But that meant that basically Swift could just move so quickly through the map with their Uber advantage that they just won the rounds basically off the back of that. So Lucas making a lot more mistakes than Smire, but Smire getting a lot more punished for his mistakes.
I feel like because of the playstyle that both of these teams have kind of adopted, which is as soon as they get a advantage, they just barrel, like it's pedal to the metal, full aggression straight into the enemy team and just push them all the way to their last. And we saw that a couple of times during this map. And it's quite nice to see on Granary. There were the classic Granary stalemates and bits and bobs, but there was some good aggression. But I've got the logs up. I don't know about you, Eames. Do you want to start talking about some numbers?
Yeah, I can do. We see just right at the bottom, both flank scouts just not really in this server at all. That can just happen to you on Granary as a flank scout. It doesn't necessarily happen if you're, the likes of Credo or certain other flank scouts potentially. But yeah, having a rough game for them. Obviously, both pocket soldiers taking a lot of heals and doing a lot, which is also natural on Granary. Honestly, they're pretty even logs here, Grumpy. There's not too much to analyse. What do you think?
Let's just look at the most important log number, and that's 13 air shots to Pappy and 10 to Mathis, which is pretty spicy. I'm surprised we didn't see any air shots coming out of Smeary. I thought I'd see a couple of connect. I know that obviously on Grand. Yeah, he definitely got air shot. Yeah, bless him. But obviously some of these. Well, actually, there weren't that many fights on last, so not a huge amount of padding from the pipes on last. But yeah, it was quite interesting. Let's just have a look at the medic logs. 2 drops from Umbrak.
Yeah, that is. To be fair, that was one. So, I mentioned the mistakes from Lucas being kind of the thorn in the side of Swift, but definitely at least the drop in lunchbox. He had a nice milk, and then he had a really quite catastrophic drop, which basically lost him that whole round. So yeah, Seeds with a very clean game. He even won that one run against Ixie. We do see Seeds, 0.5 KD for Seeds, which is pretty respectable, to be honest.
And alongside that, one thing I will say is, whether or not it's intentional, some of Umbrak's milks were amazing. Like, I still can't comprehend how some of them he didn't get forced. Like, whether it's just not wanting to pop or just pure faith in his team, whatever it was working for the most part. Only 2 drops when arguably there were some situations where there could have been more. Like that one where was it Pappy was basically inside him. Like, I still don't understand how he didn't get forced or drop. Like, nuts. But one thing I will say about Seed's playstyle is I love how quickly he builds. Like, he's so consistent at just making sure he's building all the time. Like, just making sure that there is always someone there to build up, and he doesn't really like advantages to be on the enemy side. He actually managed to take away 3 advantages from Umbrak, whilst only 2 were lost from Seed. One being 109 seconds, so I think that was just one where they kind of barreled through, or they were stuck in a stalemate situation with not enough players. But yeah, it was. Let's just.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't really know what else to glean.
Definitely known for his building. You always kind of adjust a little bit when you're playing against Seeds. You think you have 20% advantage, you probably don't almost every single time. And also because he plays his positioning really quite well on disadvantage, that it's going to be really quite difficult for you to kill him, because either he's going to have Uber or he's just going to be so far back that you can't get him. Either way, it's going to be rough. But yeah, obviously we see both Pocket Soldiers doing a lot of damage in that one. Pappy doing a lot, but I think he was on banner for a lot of the games, so probably quite inflated logs. But I think, just going for predictions on this Golden Cap, I think Swift is still going to take it. I think they're generally favoured on this map. I think that probably Pappy has been shouting at Lucas not to feed, and they're going to have fixed their issues, and they're going to have a good mid, and it's going to be over. But obviously, one thorn in their side in this mid in particular can be the Smeary and Lucas duel, so that's going to be very important at the beginning.
I'm going to go with the opposite. Based on if Lucas doesn't rein it in during this Golden Cap just a little bit, I feel like Feint are going to take it. Like, Feint could take it just from a couple of mistakes from Lucas. But we are actually going to be going live on this Golden Cap of the first map, which is Granary of this lower bracket round 1. And coming onto this mid, we'll see who's fast, who's slow, and whether the Smeary and Lucas duel is going to favour either team. As Lucas is in quite quickly, as well as a little bit of connection onto Smeary and not Lucas, looking to just spread that spam across. We're starting on this mid, big bomb coming out of Mathis, trying to connect onto someone, actually lands on the pipe, quite nice, but blue players start dropping for Feint. And that's 3 players down, and Swift are going to try and use that aggression to go forward. We've seen them do it before. A lot of damage onto Smeary. He's not that healthy. And Swift pushing it forwards. Maybe even, they're going to be able to get into second straight away. Like, Smeary is on his own trying to defend second. Gonna have to back out as the rest of Feint do join him. Getting a sentry gun up with Ixie. And, it's going to... Ubers are equal though, so...
Indeed. And so, I mean, there was an opportunity there for Swift to actually come in quite aggressively with those picks, but they did get a really nice respawn wave with the 3 players from Feint, so Swift going to opt to play for the safe option, which makes complete sense. Although
That's Surf!
King's going to go for a second on Breck, and once again he does have a pretty solid milk, so we'll see if we criticise him next time if he does drop, but that kind of depends on what actually happens. But going back to the mid there, it was kind of depressing from Feint to see they sent both of their soldiers extremely aggressive into Swift, but meanwhile Smear was weak on the pack, and Koff was really far back as well as Ombrek, and so they were essentially just 3 players back, 3 players forward, and the 3 players forward just went into a blob of 6 hungry piranhas of Swift, and they just got completely cleaned up. So it was kind of a poor mid from them really. As Gink peeks it right side and gets the frag onto the NG of Koff.
No, that was a sniper, my friend.
Okay, never mind.
So Koff's sniper is out play right now. Lucas very, very far forward, as well as Scraft. They're not going to get caught out by Smear Ray, but King so far in. Tries to go for a couple of hero shots, only lands 50 onto Ombrek, but Lucas and Pappy try to go onto Ombrek once again, but Ombrek staying alive as a lot of Swift players sacked for him, 2 going down in the end. A little bit risky. Polygon also going down means that it's only a 1-player advantage, but I don't think they'll go forward just based on the fact it's a golden cap. They don't want to risk it.
No, I don't think so. But I do think this is going to be a problem for Feint, because Swift are just going to keep taking liberties here, keep getting more and more aggressive, and they know that Feint are the kind of team that are going to be absolutely quaking in their boots here in this situation, this stalemate. And the more they take opportunities, the more chance they are going to have to get onto Ombrek. Well, that was really quite close to a force there, or maybe even a push if Swift wanted to go in off of those 2 picks. And next time it could be even more dire for Feint.
Yeah, what? Gink's actually in on pipe. Oh. I think Mathis knows. Mathis kind of paused for a second, like, wait, what? But I don't know. Did he bump Gink?
I don't know.
No. Kunu checked.
So this is definitely an interesting play here from Gink. This is what we saw. Probably most of you don't remember this, but Mookie made this play playing for low pound a long time ago, getting onto the pipe. Actually, Gink did get hit a little bit there, but no one will spot him, I think, so he's still going to be okay to go for the play. But Polygon actually giving the pipe a bit of a spam, so they do know he could be up there, but you don't really ever expect a spy to just... Actually, no, you do. Polygon completely expects it. He's going to hit Gink with a rocket one of these days if he keeps playing like this. It's a difficult time here for Gink. He's in hot water.
That would have been... Gink's going to go for the play. Doesn't manage to connect it though, and does end up getting cleaned up by that sentry gun. So Feint just chilling out. We have got that 10-minute timer though, so Feint are still not in a favourable position. They can't just hold it. They're gonna have to try and make something of this situation, and they're trying to get Kunu even. I'm just gonna call him Koff. That's how I know him.
Yep. Into
a good position.
I do like them using these shutters here to actually make so much room, because that's one thing about Granary. If you're, one of your fast classes can just peek the shutter and your sniper can scope up, then you can actually have such a big angle onto them. But Swift playing the angle pretty much perfectly there, so not really in any danger. As Gink is once again going to try and make whatever he can make happen. But currently, he's just thinking about how to proceed here.
How do you feel like either team is going to break this? We've got Polygon on the conch, so he's going to be building that up. Don't really see where Koff looking for an angle on the right hand side, but Gink actually gets in so deep.
Yeah, he got the body shot on Ombrek, but unable to click on the head there.
How does he get in that deep?
I think he got juggled in, right, and then the sentry couldn't quite reach him because he was so far in for a second. He got a shot off, so 10, 100 more of those attempts and he will hit the headshot, but it was not to be that time. And
he's got 5 minutes to do it.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
They can just chill. I think Gink's gonna do it again. Has Polygon got his conch yet?
I expect he just got full shot on the conch because it doesn't take very long. I'm interested to see that Pappy is not on banner at all, or the battalion's backup or anything. So they potentially will have some advantage if they do eventually get into a fight. Although the conch is probably not the best banner in this situation, because the conch just kind of helps you take a point is a lot more open by moving so quickly, whereas you'd really want the battalion's backup, in my opinion, on Granary, because you just want to bust through a trait really quickly, and in order to do that, you want to take a lot less damage, which is what the battalion's backup gives you.
I'm just watching Gink and Koft try and win some sort of battle between each other. They're just trying to do it. No one gets the reaction headshot. Ginks goes for a rotation, goes for some sort of like weird bait, and it works. Like he just walks towards window, and Mathis doesn't manage to clean him up as he walks that way. And now Mathis in that window, trying to catch anyone that tries to walk towards pipe. But right now, again, very stalemate. Gink in on the right hand side. Polygon actually gets picked up. A lot of spam coming out from Lucas, though, onto Koff as well. Koff gets picked by a pipe. 2 down. This is a good opportunity. They're going to get Gink in. There's going to be bombs flying their way from Mathis. It's the only thing he can really do. As they do decide to use the Uber exchange, because they know they've got the player ad. They get the sentry gun down as well. Uber exchange has finished. Smiro is going to try and pick up onto Lucas, not able to do so. Scruff ends up getting picked up, staying in a bit too deep. Classy picking up the sentry gun replace, but him going down as well means that there's 2 players down for Swift Eemes, and with Pappy behind, trying to battle onto, that's 3.
Yeah, no scouts alive at all for Swift here, and in fact, Feint are going to make their push off after that. What could have looked like quite a good situation for Swift, but instead of trying to utilize their, their player advantage, they were 64 for a few seconds. They actually took the Uber trade in, which meant the Smear could just lock out the choke in the trade completely for free. And then they tried to run through a door into Smear, but I think we've seen that one before, Grumpy, and it doesn't really work out for Swift too well.
No, it doesn't. And Swift are going to have to hold this mid Eames.
But it's even Ubers.
It's even. Yeah, it's even Stevens. That's all that matters.
Yeah, I thought Feint were going to have some kind of advantage there, but I guess not. No, the Siege was... the Ubers were pretty much even after that trade. So Lucas is going to be kind of annoyed at his team there, to be honest. Like, he gets 2... It's kind of incredible for a demo to get 2 picks in a stalemate. Getting the pipes onto Konu as well as the frag on the Polygon. And he just gets another frag on the Polygon here. So there's going to be a lot of room in this choke for Gink to actually take a lot of space. And Feint are not holding their yard at all right now. And Swift are just walking in. Yeah,
Lucas a bit far forward. Does take a lot of spam, but Feint are going to back out through their lunchbox and through Z. And they're going to try and hold their second. They're going to try and just rotate into a position where they don't let Swift get any good angles. But Swift are going to be looking to maybe take Lunchbox themselves. Gink is watching that angle. He's caught Polygon out before. May do it again as he tries to connect his shot. Not able to do so. And he's now going to have to try and find a new angle. Looks like he's going to try this left-hand side. But Smire's immediately locking it down with sticks. As Gink tries to get an angle. Doesn't manage to connect anything though, sadly. But Polygon... Gonna go down to a mix of spam from Lucas and Pappy. Good coordinated spam, and again creates an opportunity for Gink to get into an angle. Like, I think that's the play right now, is just get Gink into a decent angle and hope he connects the headshot.
This is in fact the 3rd time the Polygon has gone down really early on in a stalemate to Lucas. So he's going to kind of want to stop doing that, because particularly as Feint likely to just give up points sometimes when they're down a player. So every time Polygon is down, there's even the chance of them just saying, what, Swift are pressuring us and we're 1 down, I'm just going to get the hell out of there. Which is really not, they don't want to be back on their last off. They worked for about 7 minutes to get off a bit, but once again Polygon has gone down here, Grumpy.
Yeah, again getting the headshot onto Polygon, now rotating. They're looking for the second pick before going in. Like, getting Smire right now would be catastrophic, and Gink goes for the shot, but Scruff actually goes down to even things out. Actually, Pappy going down as well means they are at a player disad and going to have to back out.
Pappy did get the force onto Ombrak, which is actually one of the only times that Ombrak does force when he in fact didn't need to. So because Pappy did not get the rocket off finally, and Ombrak is in fact known for not popping those Ubers where normally he would drop there, but this time he pops and he didn't need to. So really quite unfortunate for Ombrak. He's kind of getting super
I
unlucky
feel
here,
sorry
I guess.
for him there.
Yeah.
That's kind of unfair.
It's a slight bit of advantage here for Swift, and Gink wandering in from the right side, but they can be taking it. They go all the way aggressively in from the left. The soldier up top going to get some spam onto them, but in fact they've taken it pretty much for free, and Lucas is coming in aggressively in through the left side now.
Ombrak's built really nicely though, actually got 80%, so Swift have an advantage, but they've got to use it soon. And Ixie's building up a sentry gun. He's got that level 3 on the backside, and things are going to be even Stevens again. And Gink looking for an angle, maybe trying to connect something, checking for sticks. Let's see, can he connect onto Smeary? He sees Smeary and kind of just runs out of it.
Yeah, so about 5 or 6 minutes after Swift completely failed their push in after getting those 2 picks, we are right back where we started. So it's basically a reset in that scenario, and Gink, in fact, will go down to Koff. So it's going to be interesting to see if Feint is still as willing to push off their last here, if they just want to once again just sit in for the long haul, and if indeed we are in for a long haul here, as this is still only the first map. Let me remind you of what is looking to be at this point quite a long best of 3.
Yeah, but I feel like that just shows how close these teams are. Like, even though Swift has spent so much time on Feint's last, Feint are doing a really good job of holding it, and Classy actually goes down to a body shot from Koff, and Smeary again spamming players out, dealing a lot of damage to those on point. And with Pappy going down as well, that's 2 good picks coming out of Koff, looking to maybe make a third, but Gink gets spotted immediately by Polygon. Nice rocket from him. Gink's going to go down, and that's the third. Come on Feint, you can push forward. Inch by inch, get your ground. Polygon baiting point. Once they've got that, they can play aggressive. But the Ubers actually come out onto Lucas, but he's just not connected anything. I'm kind of stunned by what happened. What? Okay.
No, I mean, it was
Ubers are gone.
He got some damage onto Ombre. He didn't really shoot Poly on the tour, but he made Ombre force, so it's fine. If he'd have got a meta trade, he could have actually blocked the point, but he did have a decent amount of a worse Uber there, so he did just have to leave. But we do see Swift once again posturing up towards this lunchbox area. They're going to be trying to come in. Mathis is trying to deny them, but Pappy does have the heal beam on him, and actually they're going to get through top here. Swift going for quite an aggressive play now, I think.
Yeah, Feint have to go for quite an aggressive play because they have just popped their banner. They can barrel forward if they need to. Gink is behind though, but he gets spotted out in the end. Polygon picking him up. Kind of a waste of the banner though.
Yeah, that's possibly the least aggressive use of banner you could ever find. But Feint are going to try and make something happen towards this lunchbox area, but once again, their aggression is kind of stifled by some nice shots from Scruff and Class C both onto Ixie there. And we do see Swift once again using their small 5-second advantage of having a scout down to poke and prod around the lunchbox.
Yeah, and Pappy spamming from lunchbox. Seed's actually up with them, so trying to get their players in, and Pappy actually... Oh! 11 HP on Ombrak! He got so low. Again, another example of him not using where... arguably...
Oh my god! Ombrak's 3 HP!
Ombrak!
That was insane from... He's gone so lucky here. I'm not gonna lie, he got unlucky before, but that was actually incredibly stupid from Ombrak. Like, he ran back in on 50 HP and caught 2 spam rockets and lives on 3 HP! It's insane.
I don't understand what's going on, Eemes.
That would have been the biggest throw you could have ever seen in your life, and he lives by just the tiniest of margins. So we are in a stalemate here, Grumpy, but at least it's entertaining.
It is. I think there may be a little bit of miscommunication between the teams right now, as both spies check each other. That's going to be interesting. Swift playing double banner? Oh, I've seen this before. This can only go well if they can build it up and use it effectively. Gink and Pappy on their respective banners. So that's actually buff and battalions.
Yeah, we do see Polygon on Battalion's backup, but it's going to be very interesting to see, because Polygon's banner does actually completely counter Gink's, right? And the buff banner does mini crits, and the Battalion's backup counters those. But it's all in the timing here. If Gink can pop it off before they're ready, they can just get Polygon down potentially, and then make some kind of crazy push off that. But it's all going to depend on the timing, obviously, of the Uber from Ombrak, if they eventually trade, and then of the consequent banners, as Scruff does go down. So not too much probably going to be happening here from Swift. What they don't want to have to do is use their banners defensively to stop a push out from Feint. Really good rotation for Mathis there into Lunchbox. Could have maybe caught out a player there. Well, more than just one player. Like, he does manage to pick it off. But I think all banners are filled right now on the field. So
all down to how they're going to play it. Maybe, like, you know, pacing your banners, so having a battalions push, like an Uber exchange, battalions push, then a buff banner, maybe?
I mean, there's kind of infinite combinations you could do, right? But one thing that you could see, the King has been known to do in the past, and in fact, yeah, he's going to walk very far back to blow his buff banner, right? And now they all have crits, and it has actually a really big area of effect. Pappy's going to blow his as well, but I think they might have heard that one because he's blown it so close, and so they all know what's coming. Koff puts the tick in chat, and they're going to start busting here, but Lucas goes down immediately. This is kind of chaos for Swift.
They haven't really connected anything using these banners. Nothing's really gone down, and now they're getting wrapped by Feint. Swift going in onto second. Ubers have been exchanged, but it's going to be Swift players just going into the arms of the Feint, but they're managing to get out. We've got the buff banner coming out, the battalion's backup coming out from Polygon, but again, no real connections from that. Scruff behind, creating a bit of a distraction, as well as Gink. And they're going to get dealt with in the backlines. They don't want to risk a back cap at all. Polygon cleaning them out. They're going to have to back out, Eemes. This is... Oh, Gink going down.
King did die, but Classy was able to escape through drop down. So nice little sneaking out by him, making sure they can't get rolled to mid. 6v4 now, just one pick down. But yeah, it was, I mean, just Lucas should never be peeking that first as demo. I don't know quite how he died to the stickies, but really he should let his pocket soldier, who's essentially got 500 HP, do the peeking there. And there's really no way you can kill him, even with the, well, unless there's maybe 8 stickies. But otherwise, there's pretty much no way your pocket soldier can die in that situation. So yeah, kind of, I mean, it was built up for a very long time, but here we are, we're back in mid, and not too much has happened for Swift.
No, they've not. It's a lot of backpedaling now. Feint need to. Someone just needs to get the picks and start moving forward. A little bit of aggression from Feint will be nice to see. They are playing it safe, and I understand why, but they could easily just try and rotate players into a position where they've got a good opportunity to maybe catch a player out in garage if they play things right. Polygon looking to maybe do that through door, but just gets spammed by Lucas and is going to back out, and things are going to go back into a stalemate.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, at this point, the Golden Cup's been going on, I'm not entirely sure how long, but it's going to be at least around 20 minutes. Pappy's going to go in for a sack now, but he's going to die. We've seen this quite a lot of times before, nothing to get too excited about. But really, it starts to get into the mental game, right? It's less about who's the better team or that kind of thing. It's more about the will to win. Who's going to make the play? And Lucas is going to feed in choke, so that's absolutely crucial. Feint coming all the way here, and this could be an absolute crumble from Swift here. It's just a really, really poor play from Lucas, overextending once again away from Seeds, and Scoff's going to go down as well. So Swift seem to be the one who have lost their nerve here first, and Feint are taking full advantage.
Yeah, and Feint are using a huge amount of aggression right now, coming on this left-hand side, trying to wrap the Swift players, cancel out any form of exit, as Lucas is going to battle Smear and try and push him as Mathis goes in as well. And they're wrapping round the Swift players. The Uber has been popped off, and I feel like Feint have completely wrapped this Swift team, but Swift used their Uber and a banner has been popped. I don't know which side. That's probably on Feint, and they have lost Ombrak. They've lost 3 now, 3 for 3. Siege still up though, but they have got the last dregs of their banner, not able to connect anything at the end of that. And things have been completely reversed, and Ixie sneaking in behind. Oh no, he's been spotted by Gink.
Yes, that could have been really good for Feint, but in fact they were not unable to protect Ombrak. Polygon going for a play under Seeds, but almost gets him, but is not quite able to. And Ixie is also going to get taken out by Lucas. So really nice defensive Seeds there, and that's really the difference between the two teams in that fight. Ombrak got forced really easily by Gink in Lunchbox, and then even after the fight, they weren't able to force Seeds for a very long time, and then after the fight, Scruff got the kill onto Ombrak. So Feint not protecting their medic very well here.
And slowly, inch by inch, Swift are taking ground back. Ombrak at 8%. He's going to have his Uber once the mid cap has been capped up by Swift. Are they going to play aggressive? Like, they have the opportunity earlier, not that much now. Polygon bombing in onto that the window. That's a door. That is a door, Grumpy.
It is. Well, it's sort of. I guess it could be window shaped. It's what is a door? What is a window? Depends what you think. It's kind of more of a philosophical question. as we do move into
I'm not ready for that now.
What feels like the 35th minute of this Golden Cap. Maybe it's a little bit less than that. Maybe our production can tell us. It's the 21st minute of the Golden Cap, so maybe not quite 35. I thought it was actually about 20 minutes, but I exaggerated for the sake of the viewers. Anyway, we're back in the stalemate.
Oh, Pappy goes into the skybox, gets cleaned up by Ixie. Fast one from him, but Smith. Wait, what?
I have no idea how that happened.
With the spam!
So Lucas, I think Smith caught 2 pipes there, maybe a rocket from Pappy and a pipe. But this is going to open up a lot of room for them, but really they need to make sure they use their demo man advantage correctly. Polygon's going to absolutely destroy Scruff and Choke, and in fact it's going to be really rough for them trying to get in here. Because he's trying to peek as hard as he possibly can, but all he's doing is taking damage from Polygon. And yeah, it's not, even though they did get a demo pick, these chokes are so easy for a soldier to lock down that it's just kind of going to be rough for them trying to get in there.
Polygon was like, don't worry, I got this, and just held that perfectly. That could have been... We mentioned it before, that last time SVIFT won the round, it was because Smiro went down, but not able to really do so now, as Smiro has joined the ranks of his team once again. Oh, it's just... This is an absolute marathon of a Golden Cap right now.
It is indeed, and really, I mean, you want to see both teams, like, SVIFT had Feint had a fantastic situation that they could have definitely got a round off there if they had played it a little bit better. Even, you know, although Omrak got forced, they were 64 in that scenario. They could have just collapsed on them and crushed them off the Uber, but they weren't very confident in themselves. They just wanted to run away and get Omrak out, whereas I really would have liked... I think this, who wins this is going to depend on who goes more aggressive more quickly, but in fact, for some reason, Lucas has gone in, I think for a sack play maybe. See, some died somehow, and now SVIFT are going to have a real hard time holding mid.
And because of those 2 players down, they're just going to get collapsed on by Feint. Feint may be able to barrel this through if they want to. Like, they're trying to maybe send Mathis in. They're going to get those players all on choke, but no, it's on lock from SVIFT. SVIFT rotating really nicely, and with Pappy spamming onto Smiro. Smiro taking a little bit of damage, but not too much. And things are back into a stalemate. This has been most of this map. The Golden Cap has been very stalemated.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really not entirely sure what that play was. I took my eye off the blue second there for a moment, and suddenly Lucas and Pappy were both dying, so I don't really know quite why they decided to sack both their demo and their soldier at the same time. Who knows? Maybe it was just supposed to be a soldier, Lucas sack, and Pappy went in and died anyway by accident. Who knows? But yeah, I really think, obviously both teams are playing very slow here, but the one who's going to be able to seize the initiative, I think is going to be the one that's going to be able to take it. So they get one advantage and suddenly they just push aggressively, and the other team is not going to expect it because this game has been almost, you know, stupefyingly slow. As soon as one team actually does take the initiative, they're going to have a big advantage.
I think frustration is starting to settle in as Koff goes in for a play. Polygon actually down to Lucas as well, but Seed's going quite low from Koff's attempt. But they have got the 2 players down, so they can try and barrel forward. Smiro holding far forward though, as they do come in through choke. Smiro actually just going into them, dealing so much damage. Uber has been used. Lucas has actually gone down, and Smiro going forward, trying to lock them down. Just gets completely behind them. He's going to get collapsed upon, and a little bit of a mistake from Smiro there. I feel like it's not 100% his fault, but.
I don't know, man. I feel like we've just entered the Twilight Zone. Like, both teams are doing double stacks for no reason. Smidges took an Uber and jumped behind them and then died. And Lucas, once again, is getting dropped in an Uber when they have player advantage. And he just basically runs into the team. I feel like we're just seeing everything happen that's already happened before. But, you know, just to a degree where both teams are getting so much more frustrated, and like potentially, you know, it's all about the mental game right now, and whichever team is getting more frustrated more is going to lose their nerve first. That's the team that's going to struggle.
And I feel like both teams are starting to show cracks here and there, but Polygon getting picked up from some nice rockets from Gink there. And again, this creates an opportunity for a sack play. Maybe Scruff actually going in, creating a little bit of space, and that distraction may mean that Pappy can go in. He's checking for traps, and Gink actually goes in quite low. manages to get some sort of connection, but not enough, and he goes down, and we're back at the stalemate once again.
Yeah, the amount of times you've said that on this map alone is
I know.
Quite impressive.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say.
There's only so many ways you can describe a soldier sacking in one map on mid to second. But yeah, I think
it just shows how
we do see
it shows how uncreative I am. But Gink actually adding some creativity and going spy. But Cough in. Like, people need to watch the right hand side a little bit more.
I have no idea why Cough is sacking there. Well, I mean, not why he was. How he was able to get that far in, basically. You know, obviously it can make sense to go for a sack sometimes as a scout. And Smear does get 2 crucial frags, in fact, with the kind of bait play, the sticky trap in Rampram after this cock goes down. But Gink is still behind, so there's only 3 up for Swift. So this is going to be actually quite rough for them if they do decide to take the trade. It's all on Lucas here. He needs to take a good trade.
Yeah, like Gink's behind, so he doesn't really matter right now. So. Like they could take this Uber in, get an exchange, and then play afterwards. But instead, Smear is going to get backstabbed by Gink, and it's going to cause a bit of a crumble from Faint Sign. As Ombrecht's getting caught out. Good aggression from Swift, as they have caught. Ombrecht's going to have to use, and he does use it in the end. Siege using the counter Uber. Cough getting trapped with
and
a
Ombrecht is surely caught now. Ombrecht's
oh no! How is he alive? Cough going down as well. How does he get out? That's movement.
Somehow
he didn't. Gink just walked past him.
Between Lucas and Gink, they should have found a way to kill Ombrecht there, but there is still 2 picks for Swift onto Fein, and they're probably going to be able to come into mid here, although Smear is now alive, going to lock out the choke, and in fact, once again, what could have been a pushing opportunity has dwindled away. Swift a little bit too slow, and you know, here we are again. Some action, a little bit of action, and then we crawl back steadily and stealthily into the stalemate, although Ombrecht's going to get... Oh, okay. Ombrecht's pretty weak to the spy play from Gink, but he will survive.
Bit of spam from Lucas to maybe catch a stray pipe onto someone, not able to do so. And... yeah, just someone do something!
It's a slow one.
It's getting to that point where I'm gonna start having like hallucinations. I'm gonna start seeing plays that aren't there at this point, Eames.
It could well be. You know, oh my god, Smith just dropped 6 players with the crits. Holy hell, this is insane. Huh? Oh wait, that didn't actually happen.
Never mind.
We're still here. I'm not asleep. I'm in the game. I'm in the SUV and I'm watching things happen. Cough, back right at the beginning of the game actually, Cough was getting some fantastic headshots from Choke. I really wish he would just do that again. I mean, maybe they were just making a mistake, which they weren't making it make any longer, which is why they got caught. But, you know, it seems to be quite effective. He's been kind of on form. So,
yeah. Nearly actually domes Classy there, just misses it by a hair. And now in Garage, looking for an angle. He knows Gink's on that left-hand side, so I think he's going to try and at least get that pick. Misses that. And, Lucas got pretty low there, man. I didn't even see what happened to him. I was too focused on the sniper, my bad. And he's going to go through door. Doesn't manage to connect anything either. And I just want to see a heavy. This kind of where I'm at right now.
Yeah, heavy is pretty cool. I mean,
heavy would be interesting. It would change. Like, just
you could send your heavy through like the top of ramp room, have him surf a rocket, and then force Ombrecht with the shotgun. I think that's give this 10-20 more minutes, and that kind of play is going to happen.
Yeah, it's gonna. Cough misses. Quite an interesting, but actually Polygon going in with a big bomb nearly lands the second rocket onto Classy, but instead Smire with the spam cleans him up. No one's really protecting Cough though. He goes down, and that's 2 players down on the side of Feint versus the 1 on the side of Swift. And Swift want to go forward with this. Lucas going in. The spam's coming out from Mathis, but Pappy uses this opportunity to try and go in, but gets suspended by Ixie. Nice serve from Ombrek once again. Takes a little bit of spam from Gink, but not really connecting anything. And we're back at the stalemate.
Yeah, Pappy could have actually had that force there, but I don't think he detected where Ombrek was very early on. So in fact, he shot the first rocket out just like the scout, so he didn't have as much time to kill Ombrek as he might have. As Mathis will now take his turn to go into the feed into Classy. Classy's going to get the frag. Koff is peeking aggressively from Choke. Actually, it was alone there, so he could have gotten picked, but no. Yep. Mathis is dead, and I've just had it announced. This golden cap has gone on longer than normal time. So how about that, Grumpy?
Yay! Woo! This is great. Speaking of great, Koff's gonna get a headshot in. No, never mind. I was gonna like try and do a countdown and see if I got it. I'm at that point right now.
Right, so I've got a question for you, Grumpy.
Okay.
Who do you think is gonna get debut of the season?
Get what of the season?
Debut of the season.
You know what? Classy has done really well this season, and he has kind of blown my mind. So I'm gonna go with Classy, but the Australian Chariot came in from Swift, but they weren't able to actually connect anything. And Polygon, with a much better Uber, is trying to bully them, but we're back at the stalemate.
Sorry, what?
Please.
What makes it Australian?
It's just so. Oh, we're gonna have a reset. Gonna have a reset with the 40-second round time. So it's probably not just the Oz scene that does it, but when I started casting on the Australian scene before I actually went to EU, weird but okay. One thing that they tend to do is there's a lot of like double scout plays. Like there's a lot of you'll see like I think like players like Hyper, Elmo, they'll try and play a real like oh my god everyone's just going crazy. That was the most entertaining thing, and I'm just trying to talk about Oz Fortress. So basically Australians like doing double scout things. And we're going to go to our second mid of our second map, which is Granary. Our first map was Granary, and this is our second map. It's Granary.
But so just as we do get back into the action now, after 60 minutes of gameplay, there's still a stalemate, so this mid is going to be absolutely crucial. I think one team's going to roll the mid and roll to last. That's my prediction. It's going to be crazy fast as Lucas and Samira do take the 1v1. It's kind of inconclusive right now, Swift taking over left side.
Yeah, they're all bunched up though, so they can get collapsed upon as Classy does go down. We're going to maybe see a bit of a collapse onto Lucas as he takes so much damage, but they have lost 3, faint all up. They Koff on the chase. Mathis trying to just stay in deep. It does deal some damage, but there is a huge backpedal coming out of Swift. They didn't lose seeds, but they're also going to concede second if they're not careful. Lucas trying to stop them with those stickies, and he's able to do so, but they're going to get this second. We're going to have Feint on an opportunity to go into last. Polygon coming in onto Seeds. Seeds doesn't actually manages to surf away, and his team saves him from any embarrassment. And right now, they didn't get second. Ombrek and the rest of his team holding yard. Maybe a sack into them? Who knows?
Yeah, that was a pretty solid milk there from Seeds. It was kind of unfortunate for Swift. They did well to have Seeds live on that mid, obviously, because they were losing it quite catastrophically. But obviously, having Seeds, he never really got out of his choke, which means that they didn't really have any space for that entire mid. So it was, obviously they'd lost it without getting a single kill onto Feint, which is difficult for them. Yep, but here we are.
We won't have logs production because the Golden Cap hasn't finished. Thanks for reminding us. It's just a map reset. Sorry, I'm having a conversation with production, just explaining how Golden Caps work. But back onto this stalemate, and Polygon looking to go into a lunchbox, maybe catch Gink out. Not able to do so, but they're going to rotate their players in anyway, and No pick classes on either team. Trying to create. This is like Koff's opportunity. Like he's done it before, where he's got some good entry picks, and Gink as well has done so in this scenario. So maybe just Koff, just go in, boy. You can do it. I believe. They're checking for a spy that isn't there.
So we do see at least one thing that is not in stalemate, in transition, is going forward, and that is the progress of Polygon's banner. I don't know if there are any banners on the other team. Let's have a look. I don't think there are. So Polygon may have an opportunity at some point in the near future to unleash that on the enemy team. And in fact,
they're doing the exchange right now.
And so he does have the banner. He's popped it outside, and they're going to go barreling in here. They all have their buffs ready, so this could actually be a really nice push. Mathis in behind on the scruff. Might get the frag here, and this could be a really nice push from Fate if they get in decisively. Lucas is not going to be able to deny them at all, in fact, and actually they've just taken this over completely for free. Almost no contesting from Swift, although Ixie will go down on the flank, and in fact this could open things back up. Gink is absolutely destroying people on the flank, and once again, a nice bit of aggression for Feint. It does well to begin with, but they've been pushed all the way back here, and Swift can now actually take this into mid.
Good riposte from Swift. Actually, Mathis going down as well. Means that 3 players are down. So we're going to see some aggression coming out of Swift as Gink moves forward with his team. Definitely pushing them out of mid. They won't be able to keep going as the forward spawns have come out. Mathis also going to join his team now. And we've got a mid to second hold. Well, mid to yard stalemate again.
It's kind of annoying. I think part of the problem of this whole map in general is that we've seen both teams often, instead of opting to barrel on and use their momentum like a team like maybe Ascent would really love to do, or even Seven if they're feeling aggressive on that particular day, but both teams are quite often opting to stack the point and maybe deny like one player and then not push off that one player advantage, whereas they could actually keep rolling really fast, take position early on, and then just mean that they could roll fights, take multiple points at a time off of small advantages. Which is annoying. Are you lost for words, Grumpy?
I mean,
you exhausted your.
What am I supposed to say?
That is a good point.
What's to say about? Oh, Gink goes for a sniper play. Actually, I didn't spot that, so he's going to be looking to get some angles. He's trying to get through choke right now, but he's very far forward. He's just taken 56. Oh, he's still alive though. Surfs away. But yeah, it's like this stalemate has been. This specific stalemate has been happening so much that I don't really know what else to say about it. I still want to see that heavy or pyro or just something. Bring me an NG. Something that confuses the other team would be quite interesting right now. But actually, both teams taking it very seriously, as they should, at this lower bracket round 1 of season 32 for those who may have just joined us. And Polygon bombs in onto Pappy, but takes a bit too much damage, does go down. Oh my god!
Oh my god.
From Lucas. And this may be it. Swift bowling forward. They've managed to get second. Ombrak and Mathis trapped up on the top hand side. They're going to have to use. They've got onto Classy. They've stopped the cap. But they've lost their Uber ad. Ombrak and Mathis trapped behind a full Uber. Well, they haven't used the Uber, but they've got it. They have now. They have used. They're going to go towards last and clean up the point. The players are sacking onto it from Fate. They're pushing them off. But this could be it. Lucas trying his best to push people off the point. You've got... Gink's just getting chased by Ombrak.
Oh, destroyed.
Yes!
Okay. It's finally over. That was
9 minutes golden cap.
Records have been set here, potentially. I don't know. That was extremely long. And even, Jesus, that final fight, I mean, I said that it would be one team, losing their nerve, and I think Fate, I guess, did that right at the end there. They just kind of let them in. Smira was not locking down the doors at all effectively, but goodness me, that was a truly crazy fight that happened at the end. I mean, what the hell was that?
That was beautiful. Lucas with the damage. I saw Smire, and I think it was a scout with him, just start bunching up, and I was like, they're going to get collapsed on. And the sticky rain true. And it just, that Smire going down was just all she wrote for that. And then Ombrak getting trapped in Lunchbox, having to use that Uber to try and salvage the situation, not able to do so. And that's the first map by Golden Cap going to Swift.
Yeah, this is... Goodness me, the KDs here just... I mean, everything about these logs just speaks for a truly epic struggle. We have 3 different players on less than 100 DPM. Koff, the only scout with more than 100, and it's barely more. And, both pocket soldiers who were just running into traps and, well, not really running into traps, but feeding in for the med, for the sacrifice players constantly, with terrible KDs, obviously. It's not really too much to analyze here. Just to
hold
talk
up!
about... The main thing to analyze really is the timer, which says 39 minutes and 45 seconds.
And the 22 air shots from Pappy.
I mean, yeah.
True. Oh, that would have been... Oh well. I'm going to ignore that exists. 22 air shots. Hell yeah. But, damage is so close with 47 to 50 kills. Actually, more kills going on the side of Feint, but it was just those last crucial frags at the end that all she wrote for Feint on the first map. So we're gonna be going on to the second map. I'm gonna just quickly step away for a moment because I've got to go to the little girls' room. Take it away for a bit, Eames. That was intense at the end.
Wow, you're going to leave me like that? Okay, so...
Sorry, babes.
So here we are with one of the... Yeah, one thing that's just been pointed out in chat, in fact, I will... both medics with a 1.0 KD, so fantastic plays, compared to both of their pocket soldiers with a 0.2... And Pappy on a 0.2 KD. Pappy got less than 1 kill every 10 minutes, so that's really quite something. But yeah, whatever. Doesn't really matter. The KDs are completely irrelevant here. All that's really relevant is that one push which decided the game. And there we go. I'm gonna also take a break for a few seconds so you can just listen to some nice silence for a little while. As we wait for the second map.
They don't need to listen to silence.
Back.
I'm
Okay.
back.
That was quite quick.
Silence. Yeah. I have an ensuite. Mm-mm. And yes, I washed my hands before anyone says it in chat. Okay, hygiene is important. But so I promise. So we will be going on to the second map, which is Snakewater. Very different mentality of map, so it will be a lot faster. But Feint really worked on their Snakewater a lot recently. Obviously, picking up a map against. Oh, I can't remember. I think it was either Ascent or 7 that have been so strong this season. So we may see Feint really go forward. I think everyone's taking a little break though, as we've got the entirety of Swift not actually joining the as I say that, Lucas and Seeds are in, but yeah, I think
I'm back actually. Hello.
Welcome back. That wasn't too long.
No, I just ate some food. I have my dinner next to me. I thought I was just going to eat it after the cast, but I guess it's like 10. It's 10 already, and we're still on map 2, so this could be a very long night yet. Hopefully, I don't know. Maybe this one will end quickly, being a lot more exciting. Maybe it won't. Maybe we'll just have to continue going. But yeah, I think it was interesting to see that Feint are really already a lot sooner than Swift. Maybe they've all got early bedtimes or something like that, or maybe they just want to get it over with. But Swift taking their sweet time. Someone's not in the server. It is Scruff. Oh no, it's not Scruff. It's
Pappy.
It's Pappy, right? So I was confused. Yeah. So all right. I guess I predicted that one correctly, more or less. I said that Swift will win it. Obviously, we are going to assume that Feint are favoured on this map because they picked it. They beat 7 on it. They did lose to Swift on it in the season, but I think they've gone a lot better, particularly their last pushes on Snakewater since then. So, given all of those factors, what's your prediction for this map, Grumpy?
I think Feint are going to take it. I think it was so close on Granary, and we both had the thought process that Swift were going to take it. But it wasn't convincing. It wasn't like, well, obviously it wasn't convincing. It wasn't a straight 100% like domination from Swift. Little mistakes here and there from both teams. And with Snakewater, it's a completely different mentality of map. And I feel like Feint can, especially with players like Polygon, who's very good at that aggressive play style of Pocket. We'll see some nice aggression from both teams, and yeah, Feint will take it. Not convincing. I say like 3-2 is my prediction to Feint.
Fair enough. I'm going to actually change my prediction from the start just to potentially play devil's advocate here because, well, obviously Granary is a map which can be incredibly slow, and on which you can't really take like a 6v6 DM fight where you're all just taking a 1v1 more or less, because it's so closed in that you've got to sort of manipulate ways of doing it, and you can basically just have one player lock out an entire area. So DM doesn't come into it quite as much, and that's also partly why there were so few scrappy fights. And generally, the teams would just lose one or two players and then back all the way out. So I think that given that, Swift are just going to be like, you know what? We came through the uphill battle, the test of character that was literally a 40-minute golden cap on top of a half-an-hour map on Granary, and they've won it, and I think that's taken the wind out of Feint's sails, so I think Swift are going to take this one. It's going to be a lot faster. It's going to be 4-2 to Swift.
4-2 to Swift. Okay. But yeah, so for those who have just joined us, we are actually only just on our second map. The first map going to Feint. No, not Feint. Swift. Brain. Don't worry, I'm doing it to Eemes. Yeah, I think as much as I do love me some good TF2, 40 minutes of stalemates can do a lot to a man. But that ending though, I'm still like having shudders from that aggression from Swift, and just the way they managed to bunch those players together. It's gonna be close. So whoever wins this, who are they playing? Is it set who they're going to play yet?
No, not at all. So it will be the loser of Ascent versus Seven. So that will be the lower bracket final. Whoever wins that will go on to play the winner of the upper bracket final in the grand final, and that's how our playoff system works. As we do wait for the teams to ready up here, what do you think of the current playoff system, Grumpy? Any thoughts on it?
I knew you were gonna bring that up. I don't know. Like, it can sometimes feel a bit long-winded. Like, I can understand how some people feel like it's a bit long-winded and it takes a lot of time to really get going. Trying new things should be always something we should think about when we're playing a competitive game, because it's nice to switch things up, try different things. Sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't. I mean, we had Cardinal on the map pool at one point, so
we did, yes.
I mean, changing how we do our playoffs isn't that big of a stretch, really. Yeah, I don't think I'm experienced enough at playing playoffs. I haven't played a playoff because I'm bad, to really make a full decision. Like, a lot of people talking about, I know there's the post on TFTV, and a lot of people are agreeing with that post. So if you want a more detailed sort of opinion from Starkey, I'd recommend to go over to TFTV and look at that post and make your own decision. But we are going into the second map of this lower bracket round 1 between Feint.eu and Swift.eu, and we're going to be coming on to this first mid. The first map was taken by Swift, so it's all to play for Feint to stay in their chance to go forwards. And right now, little bits of spam going from either team. Bombs are going to be set up, and Mathis going for the first attempt. Pappy jumping but not able to do so. Polygon getting picked up by Gink, and Actually, Ixie going down as well brings a bit of a player advantage to Swift, and Ombrak's going to have to back out with Koff. Mathis getting cleaned up by Scruffed, and that's going to be the mid fight going to Swift.
Yeah, some kind of unsuccessful bombs there from the faint soldiers. Mathis did a really high bomb. Looked like he was going to get quite a lot, but in fact he just shot a couple of spam rockets onto Scruff and then hid in the enemy saw, so not really having too much impact there, even though he did get into the best position he could. And yes, Polygon also got cleaned up pretty early on, so not too much. The aggression wasn't very coordinated from the faint soldiers, and it also just it wasn't very aggressive. They just kind of pussyfooted around, and yeah, not too much going on for them there as we are. Even Eemes here on the last point, and we'll see how Swift want to approach this, as there is. We are now on Snakewater, so it's a little bit more. You know, a little bit more opportunities to make things happen than on Granary, but hopefully it's not going to take another 5-6 minutes before something happens here, Grumpy.
Hopefully not. Let's give credit where credit is due. Like, Granary is a very hard map to break stalemates on, and this is a little bit different as Gink actually goes in, tries to land some rockets onto Mathis, manages to get out from his sack as well with Pappy on the support, and things are just going to fill back into a stalemate. But it's a little bit of spam pressed left and right now as they're trying to look for opportunities. Maybe sending in a player to get sniper up might be an opportunity, or just getting a bit of space, as actually Koff has decided to go on the snipper class, and with Mathis protecting him and Polygon, he's got a good chance to do something, trying to get onto Pappy. What, I don't know what that aim style was, but it was interesting to watch nonetheless. But a lot of pressure coming out of Swift right now as they bomb in onto Ombrak. Ombrak going down to 50 health, not using though. It's a nice hold from him. He's going to go on to resub, and things are going to fizzle out as Koff's going to look for that angle going forwards, and with Seeds in a good position to stay alive and not get domed by Koff. Caster's Curse to please don't happen.
Yeah, so Koff is going to be poking probably into the lobby here a little bit, but he's going to have to think better of it. I think Spawner is now up for Swift, but it's definitely interesting to see from Faint Gaming in their match against Seven, which I casted on Snakewater. They had kind of a questionable hold in a sense, because they would have their sentry far forward and they would have Ombrak actually where he is right now, so never mind, they've transitioned to this hold, which I think is not very good, because in fact Ombrak in this situation, he's not next to the sentry, right, and he doesn't have a single scout class or hit scan class anywhere near him, so they don't even need to kill the sentry to get a decent sack onto Ombrak. So it's just a really bad hold, and if Swift is smart, they're going to be able to exploit this.
They just need to get the information to know that's the case. But there has been a move with the sentry gun, so it is now covering Ombrak a little bit, especially from any bombs that are going to come his way. So Ombrak's kind of just been left on his own. It's a little strange. Like, Smearay has just joined him. Gink's actually gone down to Polygon, and Smearay! Smearay lands a pipe onto Seeds, but he is actually going to lose his life. And this is an opportunity. This can be Uber exchanged, and still they can win the post-Uber fight, because they have got their demo. And I think they're going to take it in on the right-hand side, because they haven't got the Ziggies to deal with. Ubers have been exchanged. The sentry gun does go down, and Swift just rotating now. Smearay has come back up though, so they haven't got that advantage of the demo, but Pappy's going to actually go on to Smearay.
Way too aggressive, and he's going to get picked
out. This is a good opportunity for Swift. Lucas is going in, but he's a little bit overextended now as Polygon bombs in with Mathis joining. He does pick up Scruff and Classy, but Lucas taking a little bit of spam, but he's going to have to back up as 3 players have gone down for Swift. They're going to have to back out, Eames. And Seeds a little bit disconnected right now. Like, there's no little bit about that.
Yeah, Seeds is all the way out, not willing to be so aggressive with Lucas and Pappy, trying to hold on the doors. And in fact, Pappy's going to go down here, and Swift is going to have to give this up all the way. It was almost...
Look at that aggression from Polygon, though.
Yeah, it was... Smith almost got really punished for that, but in fact he was able to trade the frag, and then there was just such great aggression from the soldiers from Fate. They were able to take over that right side and get a lot of frags. As Fate are now coming into mid here, they've taken a lot of position. Polygon going to get air shot by Gink actually, so that's kind of makes an opportunity for them. And in fact,
Smearay goes down again. Smearay goes down again, and this is another good opportunity for Swift just to play the DM game. They have lost no one. But Smearay going down for Feint just means that they can just play this aggressively through grass. They're spamming quite nicely. The bombs are coming in for Polygon and Mathis though, and the Uber has actually been used onto Ombrak. Seeds not popping his yet, and they're going to kite this Uber perfectly.
Yeah, not even getting a single frag with that Uber. All of Swift is Houdining in out of there. They're going to come, I think, no, they're going to head through choke here now with the Uber, and it's all up to the soldiers on Feint to try and get a force hit potentially, or they might just scuttle off back to last and make sure they get 6 off for the hold, because in fact they're almost certainly not going to get Uber here because Omrek is too early on 40% and Feint are backing up already.
The control point is being captured.
But they've managed to pick up second right now. And they're going to be sending their players in lower because they've got this Uber advantage. Lucas just goes straight in. Ombrak's completely separated from his team though. Sentry gun going down. Ombrak getting cleaned up by Scruff. This is really good for Swift. Bombing from Mathis trying to get on to Lucas to push him away, but point presence from Scruff, and that's the first round going to Swift.
Yeah, really poor positioning there from Ombrak to get caught out by the Uber. He was just completely alone on top of point. Didn't really know which way to go, and Lucas was able to just stop him from leaving for long enough that he could get fragged out. Mathis also didn't. He could have bombed the point to try and block it, but instead he bombed Lucas, and then the scouts of Swift were just like, okay, I will cap, and that's what they did. So pretty nice round there from Smearay, dying in 2 quite crucial situations and costing his team for it.
Yeah, probably a lot of these teams are very tired right now as Mathis and Polygon do some really nice big bombs, and Smearay uses that opportunity to go forward, but he gets punished by Classy. And Mathis behind. Lucas just instantly pipes in the moment he pops up. But they're going to get collapsed upon because their exit is not available.
Ombrak, that was crazy.
He's just like, kill him. Okay, I'll do it. And Classy's actually chasing Ombrak right now. And Koff just managing to stop him out and push him away. They're going to get mid, but they've lost their med. They're going to have a huge Uber disad right now, and Feint making moves to come into
Oh my
mid.
god, that was incredibly stupid play from Feint. They're both peeking the door at the same time instead of letting one of them check it, even maybe checking it, before going through instead of checking it with their body. But it is really dumb from Feint, to be honest. Maybe the tiredness is getting to them as it's getting to me, but making me more critical of these questionable plays. But Swift will be able to try and go for a force here now.
But Feint using their Uber ad to go forward on this left-hand side. They've actually picked up Classy. He's just gone in deep. I think he was trying to force something. Just nowhere near Ombrak though. And they're going to start pushing in through choke. But Seed's building is so good. He's up and ready to go with his Uber charge. So we're going to have a bit of a stalemate. Don't like saying that word right now, but it is what it is. But I think Swift are actually looking to break it. They're trying to catch Smearay out with Lucas being very aggressive, but Polygon going in with the bomb, and they're going to back out. Gink going down as well. Just means that a little bit of backpedal may get in the sack towards them as Polygon tries to create some space, but gets suspended and trapped out by Lucas. And that's going to be a play for a play. Scruff.
Ooh, yeah, Scruff very nearly gets the pick onto Smear there. That could have been worth it if he got it, but can be, unlucky not to get that frag as Feint going to be heading in through the Soria, trying to make something happen, but it's only Smear really leading the charge at the moment, and Matheson's gone down to another sticky trap kill from Lucas. And Lucas will in turn die to Smear, so it's back and forth here, but this could actually be really advantageous for Feint as they've gotten 2 frags, including the demo. They could take this to mid now.
Yeah, those 2 frags, including the demo frag, is so good for Feint, and they're going to be able to go forward, but Pappy not backing out, actually, wants to just bully Smearay, but Ixie's got him behind as well, so they're getting a little bit wrapped up here, as Feint is going to start trying to collapse onto Swift. Siege is going to have to try and back up. Scruff going down as well. Lucas overextended, taking so much damage. The spam rockets coming out from Mathis and Polygon clean up Lucas. And once again, a good advantage situation for Feint.
I think it's an absolute tragedy for Pappy there. I don't think he had ammo in that trade. He also got juggled around, but he had his escape plan out, so there's really nothing he could do to try and stop Smearay from just bullying his way in for his team. And what could have just been a second hold for Swift is now they're right the way back on their last.
And things stalemating back up on this last hold. Sentry gun going up for Classy. Ubers are equal. And no off classes on the side of Feint with a Pootis and Engineer on the side of Swift.
Very different hold from Swift to that of Feint, but I do prefer it, to be honest, because Seeds is a lot more safe. He's got the heavy protecting him, he's got the sentry as well, soldiers locking down areas. It's slightly easier for Feint to get through the choke points, but it's really, really difficult for them to get anywhere near the danger zones that are going to enable them to get onto Seeds, assuming that, actually no, but so there is, Scruff has actually swapped off of heavy for the moment, which could, you know, pose a temporary danger to Seeds, but if he does get, he will actually come back up on Sniper, so Seeds is a little bit less safe now. Going to need to play nice and close to his sentry if he's going to want to, you know, maintain his safety.
And we didn't see it much of last game, but it's nice to see Scruff actually out on the Sniper. He is quite a formidable player when it comes to landing those headshots, with the sentry gun going down, but Smearay getting picked up by Pappy. And Pappy wants to bring this forward now. He knows that they've got the advantage with that demo going down. We're going to see a little bit of movement coming out of Swift as they're going to take their lobby and maybe push up. They don't have to worry that much about spam, only from the soldiers, but Polygon and Mathis are in the back foot. They could bust if they want to, Eames. But they're not going to go for it.
I don't think they do. You know, they're one round up. They're pretty happy. It was only a demo pick. It wasn't like it was 2 frags, so you know, there was potential. I think Scruff went for the hero shot. Well, he didn't go for the hero shot, but he went for the unlikely shot on Dornbrack, but he didn't get it. And yep, here we are. We're in this kind of situation. It's a new one for me, Grumpy. I've never been in this one before. Casting something where nothing too much is happening. What do I do in this situation?
You talk about what food you ate recently. I had a pot noodle. What did you have?
Something similar actually. I had hat pasta, so tortellini.
Oh, wicked. That's not too bad at all. But actually, I think Smearay is trying to just bust in right now, but he's so overextended and he's gonna die as a result. And again, Swift are in a good position. Like, Gink's just in on Ombrak. Ombrak again, surviving on such low HP. But good momentum from Gink. He just saw that opportunity, went in, and Smearay coming. Smearay's playing a little bit overextending at the moment. Not really what I'm used to seeing from him.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it doesn't matter too much if he's dying in these situations because bottom break is going to drop. I don't even know where he was, but a huge body shot from Scruff going to absolutely. I mean, Feint were making a go of it, but no, they're just going to have to be sent all the way back to their mid here. They could, I mean, they've got 3 players to try and go for a force of some kind. Ixie might actually go for the back cap here. Lucas is going to go super deep, and Smear is caught here, going to completely feed once again. Smear having kind of a bad game, but Ixie has gone all the way behind. But in fact, Gink is going to completely destroy him sitting on top of the tower. Although
Seeds used.
Yeah, a nice force into Seeds. It's going to make it slightly difficult for them to come into mid, but they have actually denied all 3 of these players who are in the spawn queue, and now it's just a lot of open space in front of Swift.
Yeah, and Swift using a lot of speed and aggression right now and just managed to bully out Feint. And once again, they've got this midpoint. They're going to start barreling forward. They have still got the 1-0 lead. If they keep this lead, they're going to win the lower bracket round 1 and will be moving forward. But I don't think Feint are going to want that to happen, and they're not going to take it lying down as Classy does get picked up in choke. We're going to see Polygon creating some space as well as Mathis, but Polygon gets picked up by a trap from Lucas on the logs. And it's not going to really slow them down that much, but it's going to maybe create an opportunity for the Swift soldiers to maybe create some space. As Smearay is going to take quite a lot of damage, but the Uber is used. Scruff not getting dropped by Seeds. A good use from him. Lucas getting picked up now as well. Smearay disconnected from his med, trapped in the red team, and he does go down. And again, with Smearay going down, Swift have got an opportunity to push forward here, Eames.
Once again, we see Smearay going down. You know, he's just in the middle of the map and getting shot by 6 players. No matter if he's taking an Uber or, you know, after the trade where he's trying to make something with the fight. Polygon's going to go super deep onto Seeds for the force, but he's going to get absolutely no damage. But in fact, he will just take the frag on the Lucas instead. And 3 frags here for Feint onto Swift, and they can just back all the way up to mid now.
King getting picked up by Koff as he pushes forward. And they're going to take up this mid with just cleaning up those frags and just that overextension from Swift. And Swift now actually had to go all the way back to their last Eames.
Yeah,
And
I mean, they got a bit overzealous on the demo pick, so they got really, really punished for that from a really, really nice bomb from Polygon, and the rest of his team just kind of flooding in, seeing the Swift players on the low ground, and just kind of punishing them for it really hard.
And Swift opting to actually go with Scruff on the boosters, and Classy on the sniper, and he gets Smeary once again. Well, not once again a sniper, but you know what I mean. Smeary with the overextension so many times. I feel like something has really broken the soul of Smeary during this map, bless him. And he just come back, so he's not out for too long. The Polygon gets picked up by Classy. Classy ringing out some nice headshots, trying to take this forward even more into lobby. And he's getting a little bit of spam. Ombrak actually holding so far forward because he doesn't want to reveal his head. Scruff on the boot is pushing forward, taking so much spam from Smeary though. And it's very, like, this is super risky from Swift. If they start losing players right now, it could be detrimental to their last hold. And they've realised this, and they're backing out and going back onto last.
And once again, we do see Smear peeking the choke points extremely aggressively, just playing, not caring too much for his life, particularly when the push out is generally going to be very difficult with Swift unless somehow they do drop Ombrak, which is as obviously Scruff did earlier on. But yeah, we do see Seeds. Well, I know he's kind of wandering around. I'm not quite sure what hold Swift are going to end up opting for, but Seeds not really sure where he wants to hold at the moment. He's just going to hold in spawn because he's a little bit afraid for his life. So that's actually really smart from Seeds, to be honest, because both soldiers have sacked right here, but he knew. See, this is why Seeds is basically a better melee than Ombrak. Okay, let me tell you a story. And in that situation, right, Seeds knew that he had no projectile classes alive. He was fully aware of that, and because of that, he played in spawn. Whereas twice over the past week or so, I've seen the same situation happen to Ombrak, and he played really far forward and he got forced. So there you go. That's good Miniking 101.
I'm trying to think of what Feint's game plan is right now. They've got Polygon on the spy, looking to maybe get in and cause some, just any sort of ruckus. Classy actually watching the lower areas along with Pappy. Is he going to be able to sneak past them? There's a little bit of spam going from both teams. We've got, no other classes on the side of Feint, so they're just going to be trying to go off this Polygon play. Polygon has actually gone into last right now. He's spotted the sentry gun. Weird placement from Scruff, but also something that's very far forward, so it's going to slow down anything that happens. Classy actually getting picked up by Smeary, and with Koff going down, maybe a bit of a backup, but Polygon decloaking, getting spotted instantly, and Pappy cleaning him up, so that's not going to work today. And with this stalemate, with 2 players down, Feint are going to have to back out and recuperate and come up with another strat. We've got Koff coming in with the sniper, so they're probably going to try and play off that right now.
Scruff did try and he actually really nearly got the frag onto Smeary with some revenge crits from the Frontier Justice, which would have been pretty funny, but Smeary did manage to live on about 20 HP. So nice to see Scruff not just, doing nothing in the stalemate, not just, letting his mind zone out and just hitting his sentry again and again, but he's trying to make things happen. He's trying to get them off last if he can, but to be honest, Swift, they don't really mind being on last at this point too much, as long as their hold is pretty strong, which is looking pretty good, and Seeds is happy not getting forced at the moment. They can just sit here forever. They're 1-0 up. They don't mind.
Yeah, they can just run the clock down. It's kind of an ungentlemanly thing to do, but they don't really have much of an option because they can't just sack in and bring it back to a golden cap. I think that's one of the biggest fears right now for either team, is going into a golden cap, because if it does equal out, they're going to be playing so much TF2.
Yeah, it will be quite a marathon game if that does happen. Particularly, obviously, if Feint win this map after a golden cap, that would be really quite something. And we just have. So in that situation, the final map would just be crazy. Either way, either would be incredibly slow again, or hopefully it'll just be some. All the players have just
Fast
lost.
place,
Yeah, they
TF2.
just lost their sanity and they just
Smear
running in over and over again. As Smear seems to have at the moment, who kind of wants. I think Smear in the past often has been one of the players who complains most about games going on too long, because I think he might have a night job or something like that. I don't know, but potentially Smear just wants it to be over, so he's just feeding, and maybe that's affecting, subconsciously affecting his morale here. Who knows?
Yeah, Koff with a nice little headshot onto Classy takes the sniper out of the game, and now he's looking for some sort of angle. Smear spamming from bottom as Koff is actually coming up, drop down. But I don't think, because of the Seed's positioning, it's going to be very difficult for Koff to actually hit anything. Like, he's going to see the shutter door open for Classy. I think he's just going to try and clean him up the moment Classy pops out. I think Classy knows. Yeah, Classy definitely knows.
All right.
And he picks up
I take it all back, Grumpy. I take it all back. I was lamenting Umbrak for playing in that position after the sentry went down, and now Seeds do the exact same thing. So basically, all of these medics are just foolish. They don't understand that when their sentry is dead, they are incredibly vulnerable, and Seeds just gets forced really easily there. But it doesn't. I mean, they get a lot of frags for it, but now Feint can just come straight back in and take this point from them by just Ubering right in here if they want to, as they do Uber on Ixie right now.
Yeah, and Polygon actually cleaning up Pappy quite nicely. They have used the Uber. They're not able to connect too much on it, only getting Scraff as well. And they're going to be looking to come in the left-hand side, just off these picks. Smear spamming across, trying to clear people off the top of the point. There's no point presence at the moment because of the sticks, but Gink goes down, but Koff and Polygon are going to be traded, so that's 2 for 1. And Feint going to have to back out, not going to continue with that push, and just going to hold on to second, as we're going to go back to a bit of a stalemate. We may see some aggression from Swift. They are swapping to Cookie Cutter. They're looking to come from lower right now, as they know they've got that Uber advantage, and Scruff going forward has actually used bomb coming in from Lucas as well onto Ombrak. Ombrak juking as much as he can. Scruff actually, Ombrak getting killed by Lucas, and Ixie getting picked up as well.
So Ombrak going down at about 80% to a really nice bomb from Lucas. He just got caught in. I mean, Feint were trying to just spam the Uber out and make it kind of questionable for them so they could repush with their own, but they played so aggressively that Ombrak just got caught really far too softly there. And that should never have happened. But Cooney's going to get the frag onto Seeds. One spy with the help of Polygon. Well, at least stuff is happening now, Grumpy.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of things happening right now when it comes to little decisions and stuff like that. Little bits of chaos, especially thrown in by Koff, making the Uber back an advantage for Feint right now. And they're going to be holding mid for Swift, and they're going to be holding very passive until their med comes back up, which he has. Feint maybe looking to make a play onto mid, as Smear has already opened it up, but Pappy coming in with a lot of aggression onto Smear. The second bomb coming in from Gig. Ombrak's going to go down. Mathis, they've lost both their soldiers on the side of Swift, but with Ombrak down, they have no heals. Classy in the background does lose to Koff. Swift are going to back up, but they've got that Uber ad once again. They don't need to risk losing players over having the heals, basically, because they can just push forward.
Swift just need to play safe now, get this Uber. They're walking in nice and slowly. Not too much positioning from any of the players on Feint to try and go for the force. Polygon's going to come in now, really aggressively go for the choke, but Caesar's delayed so effectively, actually. Polygon's going to get absolutely nothing. Ixie's going to come in, though. Will try and make a play onto Seeds, but Seeds is so healthy. All of Swift are actually kind of weak, other than Seeds, but they're going to be fine. He's just going to heal them up, and now they have a full Uber advantage, almost, and they can come all the way through choke pretty much for free with 2 picks as well.
That's nice. Get down, Mr. President. That was that playstyle. And Swift coming in on the right-hand side, Eames. They're just going to push them out slowly. They've got 25% Uber ads, so really it's going to be equal by the time they get into lobby. And we're going to have another stalemate with 5 minutes left of the game. Swift currently in the lead. If they keep this lead for the next 5 minutes, they're going to win. If Feint can maybe bring it back to 1-0, or maybe even get 2 rounds. It's possible in 5 minutes. It just means there has to be some big mistakes and good opportunity taking from Feint on this Snakewater map.
Yeah, definitely. And right now we do see Feint. They absolutely know this. They know they have to try and get back into this game. They're not playing passive on their last. They're pressuring around in lobby. They're trying to get something done. But Caesar's looking pretty safe here on the health pack. Smith actually might even get caught in. GJ is going to go down to the flank. The Scruff will go down as well, and Classy might also die to Coffee if he can get the frag, but no, they're both weak, both going to back out of that, but with Demo down, this could be a dry push opportunity for Swift if they want to play aggressively into lobby here.
I don't think they can. I think they took way too much damage. Seed's currently trying to heal up his team. Polygon's still playing very far forward. Obviously willing to have that Uber exchange with them, and he's exchanging spam right now. Nothing connecting, and we're going to see Gink maybe thinking of a lower play. Polygon actually watching it now. Again, just spam being exchanged from both teams, but no one really going for any sack plays. But it's really risky playing so far forward, because if someone can get in lower and work their way up from a Swift side, from the attacker's side, it can just basically spell disaster. But Polygon goes in. Actually, Smearay picking up Lucas. This is a really good pick, and this means that they can, if they're able to, pick up some more players, as Seeds takes a little bit, but not enough. And Smearay actually overextends. Gink picking him up with a nice couple of rockets, and this is an opportunity. They've got the heals, they've got the place to do it. Gink already in,
Gink
gets body blocked.
Oh my god.
Gets absolutely smacked out of the air by Mathis.
I mean, I don't think you guys can see unless you're on the Mathis cam, but Gink was doing one of the most dirty pencil jumps I've ever seen. So Mathis, quite rightly, is going to destroy him, pluck him out of the sky with a nice air shot there, and what could have been something of an opportunity there for a Swift was turned into very little after Gink kind of held his bomb.
And Pappy gonna get cleaned up on the right hand side. Feint really, really aggressive, trying to just get some bomb opportunity and some spam opportunity, but Mathis actually going down. Swift holding their own really, really nicely. Damage coming out of Lucas. Ombrak having to use his Uber, and Classy going down as well. Ubers have been exchanged, but a little bit of advantage by... Oh, Gink actually on last, and he's got the pain train! No one can stop him!
Oh my god. And this is almost... an absolute miracle has to happen now for Feint. Gink really, really smart playing on the pain train there, knowing that, you know, as soon as you have the mid-cap to play, the pain train is just going to pay off so many dividends if you can ever get behind in that scenario. And really, even if you hadn't gotten the back cap there, Swift were looking set to have an absolutely fantastic fight on their last, because their Uber trade was just so much better than Feint's.
2 minutes left. Can Feint do it? It's going to be, if they can, it needs to be absolutely perfect. Lucas going down, but Mathis in the trade. Polygon behind, but he's going to get picked up, and that's 2 players down for Feint. Ombrak overextending, getting a lot of damage onto him. Pappy cleaning him up. In the end, only 2 Feint players left alive. Koff and Ixie. They're trying to get something onto Siege, not able to connect to Eemes. And that's going to be a mid to Swift, and GG's have been called in chat. 1 minute 20. Yeah, Feint can't do it.
That is the game. And, you know, we had quite the marathon on Granary, but Snake is going to end... Oh my god, Lucas just got a truly insane kill onto Koff. I don't even know quite what happened there.
Please tell me they saw that.
Okay, that's just one of those dead time things that just kind of happens. Maybe that'll be in the playoffs highlights from beta, hopefully. Ixie's going to be... Oh, get a nice frag on the Seeds, so there you go. Nicely played by Ixie, but this game is over now, Grumpy.
Yeah, this is such garbage time. But, 2 maps going to Swift. Not what I predicted. Not what I thought was going to happen. I thought we were going to... Well, actually, I was about to say I thought we were going to have 3 maps, but as far as I'm concerned, we did times-wise. So,
yeah.
With effectively the 2 maps on... Well, the 2 games on Granary, with Swift just bringing it... Is that it for Feint? Have they got another opportunity? Or
No. I mean, they have Copenhagen games.
I'm super excited to see them there. Have they confirmed they're going?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, wonderful. I haven't really been kept up too much on Copenhagen games because I kind of want it to be a surprise when I get there. I just think it'd be cool just to see everyone. It's going to be amazing. But commiserations to Feint. Unfortunate that they're going to have to drop out of this playoffs, but all in all, I felt like they had a great season. I think it was a good season. It's been an interesting season of TF2, and obviously congratulations to SVIFT bringing it past the lower bracket round 1, and they are going to be playing the losers of the 7 Ascent game. Do we know when that's going to happen, production or anyone? Have we got any confirmed date or time? We don't know yet. Okay, no worries at all. Well, shall we have a quick gander at the logs, Eames, and see if we can glean anything from it?
Yeah, let's do it. I mean, I think the main thing to think about is the damage taken per minute. On Lucas is 176, which is not very high at all, even though he did get the top damage. So Lucas is completely in control in this game, very comfortable, never in any fights that he doesn't need to be in, and just, playing far back as the artillery cannon that he needs to be. Whereas then you look at Smear, and he's taken 337 damage a minute. So that's the only person in the meta server to take 10k damage.
10k.
And that's kind of the story of this map. I think Smear is trying to, I don't know, maybe it's possible that hit the fact that he has to go for some reason, I think quite soon potentially, has affected him in this game, but he was having a rough time, let's say.
There's enough pressure put on for the fact it's playoffs, but then when you got outside pressure as well, it can make it very difficult to make the correct decisions. And I feel like Smear was overextending a bit too much and just got himself in really awkward situations he didn't need to be in. But it happens. You mentioned before, it at this point it was a battle of will, not necessarily a battle of skill level. The teams were so evenly matched on Granary that it was just which team crumbled first, and I feel like sadly it was Feint in the end.
Indeed. Anything more to say about that? Yeah, honestly, we've got to get these players in there. Going to have a chat about that truly epic struggle.
It was a marathon, that first map. But we have actually been joined by our players. So we have Classy, Ombrak, and Pappy. Classy and Pappy being from SVIFT, and Ombrak representing Feint. How are we doing, guys?
All right.
Yeah, pretty tough.
I think we're all really full of life and really excited about playing more pugs right now.
Add up!
So, Classy, Pappy, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Thanks.
No worries at all. Absolute marathon of a game, though. Especially that first map.
Is that the longest ever in Prem? I know there's been some really long ones in Div 1. I think Menti played like an hour-long one on Badlands.
Against Ref? Yeah, it was really long as well.
I think this might be the longest in Prem.
I remember a really long Golden Cap on Nations Cup 3 years ago.
Oh, what, the France-England one?
Yeah, but I don't know if that was that
long.
I think that was even more boring than this game.
I assume someone in... No worries. Someone in chat can probably check that. But Ombrak, commiserations on losing the lower bracket round 1. But all in all, I'll first off ask Classy and Pappy, how are you guys feeling after that? Because it wasn't, especially the first map, there wasn't much in it. There really wasn't much in it between you guys. It was neck and neck for the entirety. Hence why we had that extremely long golden cap. Like, how are you feeling after this?
I thought it was really fun watching Drop Down for like an hour.
Yeah, we were trying to do stuff. I'm just Classy watching Drop Down. Yeah, okay. I don't know. First map, the mids, there was no decisive mids. I don't think no one had full ad pushing a last, so the map just slowed down. And it's an important official, so everyone plays a bit. I don't know, a bit funny. But Ombrak milked on me on 5 HP, I think, 2 times or something.
Oh yeah, some of your milks, Ombrak, were insane. There was some points where I just didn't understand how you didn't pop or drop. It was just nuts. There was one point where I think it was either Pappy or Gink was inside you, and you didn't pop, and you had I think it was the one you mentioned before. You had 5 HP.
I don't think it's some other day the same thing will happen. I'll drop and people will call me bad. So I don't know. It's just a bit of luck, to be honest. Like at some point, I was 3 HP after king from spam, so
That
it was luck.
That was actually so funny.
Well,
Like
So-
you had a nice milk and Pappy somewhere in like what is the back of point towards last. Basically, you were holding second, and then you had a nice milk, and then you just ran into 2 spam rockets and so nearly died. You had 3 HP. It was so
would have been a
funny.
bit cringe. And then all chat and everyone will say, "Lol, he dropped. He must be so bad." So I don't know. Like I think it's funny. People say, "Oh my god, today you had really good milks, and the other day you dropped like a fucking monk." So I don't really care about. I just
think
sometimes you have to take the risk. You take the leap and you see what happens.
I think it's always one of those things when playing Med that some days people are gonna be absolutely astonished by the stuff you do, and then sometimes people are just gonna turn on you instantly and just be like, "Well, that was shocking." It's either one or the other. I feel with playing Med, it's always quite an interesting place to play because there's so much riding on you that if you make the smallest mistakes, everyone's gonna just start raging or start just calling you bad. So I'm glad to see you in Prem as always, Umbrak, and I still think you're a fantastic player. So don't think I think less. Yeah,
I love you. You're the best.
I don't think I don't care what people will think. It's like the same thing when on the Golden Cap. Like people would say I threw because I went for the kills. To be fair, I kill Classy on second, and then I go for the sniper. And maybe if I heal, we can win. But maybe if I don't kill the sniper, I get 3 headshots and they win the round anyway. So I don't know. Like sometimes you have to go for it again, and then maybe we lost because of that. But there's some other occasion where
I don't think you lost because of that.
I don't think so
our
either.
numbers would have won. It was like 5v2. The fact you killed 2 people made it close. I don't think. Yeah, I think you did at least in my opinion, did the right thing. Me and Scruff fed on the last. We thought we won, so I just bombed point and stood still.
Thank God we had Lucas.
Yeah, thank Jesus.
Yeah, it was like incredibly close to you messing up for like, even though it was the most clear opportunity. It was kind of mental, but managed it. Well done. You put us out of our misery, so that was good. I guess a question for anyone in particular. Well, it was taxing enough trying to commentate over it and find things to say and continue the hype for 40 minutes on top of the original 30. How well did you guys keep a level head as the game dragged on there on Granary?
Oh, I was in a fit of rage. I was like a baby in Granary. Not gonna lie. No, I wasn't that bad. There was just one push. We killed, 2 people. And we had a longer Uber. And I was like, oh, okay, nice, we're gonna win. And then someone says, oh, demo's we could go. And we run through a door and the demo kills both our scouts. I was fuming at this one. I don't remember if this was Golden Cap. I have no idea if it was real time or Golden Cap.
Yeah, it's because it happened, and then I heard someone else say "Oh, we need to cap." So it's I just get fucking confused in my head when that happens. Like someone calls one thing and someone calls another, so I'm just spinning around in a circle all of a sudden, and I'm like, wait, where's Scruff?
Yeah,
I think as far as we're concerned, it was alright. And sometimes you see dumb plays, but you have to take into account that the map is just dragging on. And I think overall, considering the things at stakes and how long it was, and how a little mistake could have ruined everything, I think both teams played pretty well. Of course, you don't want to take any risk, and it makes everything a bit boring. But when you look at the situations, both teams were on their last for quite some times. The sniper peeking, there's a lot of things happening. So I think both teams kept their cool. And as far as we're concerned, on Mumbai was alright. And I don't know. I think we did okay on the point on that situation.
During the Golden Cap, at one point I was just calling for just random putists and engineer, because I was just for me, I could imagine that you start getting so frustrated at that point where it feels like you're trying so much but it's just not connecting where it needs to, and it can be really disheartening. So the fact you guys kind of stuck to your guns and played as consistently as you did is really, 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 really good. Mad respect for that, guys.
Honestly, I don't find it disheartening when you're playing a long game at all, because you're always just focused on the situation. And so say they have a sniper, you're always just calling where the sniper's rotating, make sure your team has position. I think honestly it's worse for the people watching, because when you're playing, you have the pressure, so it kind of keeps your head in the game. But when you're watching it, it just looks so boring. So I'd give the respect to the casters for not going insane. Because when you're playing, you're just like focused.
Yeah, you don't think
honestly,
about it.
it doesn't get annoying. Honestly, when you're playing, you don't even really think about it. You're just trying to win.
You're on
Yeah,
your
you
toes
come
all
back
the
after
time.
1 hour golden cap, and you're like, damn, that was so crazy. Then you watch the ball back, you're just like fucking like skimming through half the ball because it's all just standing around.
Yeah, it was
Wait,
like,
that means you're skimming through my beautiful commentary?
yeah, don't do that to Eames.
I hear your voice
Come on.
enough.
Yeah, it's just like my trick is just be insane from the get go, and then like I can't really lose my mind, even though I think I was just becoming sane through that golden cap. But all in all, congratulations to Swift, and commiserations to Fate on Brack. And we're gonna go to shoutouts, my dudes. So I'm gonna start
Well, already? It's so early though.
I've been told by production. I've been told by Wheat to move things on, so I'm just going to do what I'm told. But I'm going to do it backwards. So, Pappy first, give us your shout-outs.
Okay. Shout out to my team. Shout out to Fane. Shout out to Onesie for helping us. And shout out to Condog71.
Umbrak?
Shout out to Fane, my team, Tom Tom, who gave us some advices. Didn't work, your cut, we lost. Shout out to Swift for decent games. I'm not gonna watch that VOD back because I mean I could if I want to fall asleep. I think. Shout out to Classy for being an actual piece of garbage.
What? Hello?
And to people who watch, people who can say it must have been something. And yeah, people who say I suck and then I'm bad and then I'm good, like go on yourselves. And yeah, see ya.
Did you
I'll
open
win
Snapchat,
someday.
Umberg?
What?
Did you open your Snapchat?
No, I have not, but I'm calling you a piece of garbage because I know it's gonna be that kind of things.
Let's wrap it up, guys.
Okay, and Classy?
Oh, you're so ugly.
Okay.
Come on, bro.
Shouts to my team, shouts to Fane, shouts to Umbrak especially, shouts to Conlog71, 1-2, and shouts to Mia, because she asked me for one.
Oh, that's
Alright.
weird.
And Eames, got any shout-outs?
Shout out to the teams for, doing a marathon game. Shout out to my Copenhagen Games team, and shout out to Wiethoofd and Grumpy for, we made it through. Well done to us.
It was good fun. I enjoyed it. And yeah, I'll just do a couple of shout-outs. So most importantly, shout-outs to the teams that played. It was a really good game. Really intense moments, and I really, really enjoyed it, so thanks for that. Shout out to everyone involved with production, everyone in chat, and shout out to Copenhagen Games. It's so close now. It's like 3 weeks away? Something like that? It's exactly 3 weeks away. So if you haven't got your ticket yet, get your ticket. Or just if you're in the area, come see us because it's going to be amazing. And like I mentioned before, it's by far my favorite LAN because it's just such a good family sort of feeling at Copenhagen. So make sure you come down. And yeah, I'll see you. You can call me bad, call me good, tell me I smell. I don't know, but yeah. I've been GrumpyKoi. I've been joined by Wiethoofd on production and Eames as my co-caster. We will see you in the next part, which is the upper bracket round 1 between 7 and Ascent. No idea when that's going to happen, though.
In a month.
In a month. Bye!